I have become greatest of the great. I have come into being among the beings who clear the vision of his soul eye. I know why a greatest lock is made for a what? A what? Don't you ever disrespect me again.
Because God, when the flood took place, 40 days, 40 nights, he allowed so much as a pig. He put a spirit on the pig. He let the women eat their own babies. Why don't God put a spirit on the Israelites to stop them from eating their own children?
KEMET on trial, title of that damn lecture. Destroyed the Hebrews with the power of our ancestors. Our clans better didn't talk or debate, huh, Daniela? Or Zion Lex, don't hate on KEMET, y'all fans betcha. And Sinetta, bringing knowledge to the masses. With the undisputed knowledge, they don't teach in classes. KEMET, Black Power Movement, do you understand? We on trial, Hebrews thought they had the upper hand. Polite killed them with that footage from the motherland. Hushar too much rah-rah, Nazi Elder Gabar. The young Yawasop, when is y'all gon' stop? We got tombs and mummies, y'all just got some rocks. Me and my squad illa, plus the Magi and the God Killer. Shout out to Hepshah Sut and the King Haru, the son of Amin Ra, Asepata Asa. Now Valley's here, we came to bring it home. KEMET's back to claim the throne.
Okay, so I need to tell people, please, wake up. They can't show me or show the bones of anybody in the Bible. They can't show me no Hebrew, if the Hebrews built the pyramids. Where are their pyramids before they came to Egypt? You know what I'm saying? They're waiting for God to come back to destroy all of this. You know, so they're just, that's a belief system. We need to let them know, ain't nobody coming back. They sent us. We got to deal with this. We have to straighten this out. So they need to understand that. Ain't nobody coming.
Peace and Black Power, family. Welcome to another Sonetta TV House of Conscience production. Shaka Utmost is on trial, family. Now, will Shaka Utmost be able to stand this powerful attack by GOCC? That remains to be seen. I'm gonna tell you right now, this right here was the best debate ever. Shaka Utmost stood his ground, representing for the KEMET community. Make no mistake about it. And the young brother, the young warrior, Yo Honeyshot. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, brother, but you know who I'm talking about. This brother brought fire. This brother brought passion. This brother brought pain. And the same with Shaka Utmost. He came with the fire. He came with the passion. And he also came with the scholarship. Sit back, relax, and you see for yourself, family.
Lock is too heavy for all of you combined could not hold it together with your hands.
Really?
Let's go.
Really? Who want to know what the lock means? Who want to know what his lock means? Let's go. This is from the ancient Egyptian encyclopedia. It says, from at least the old kingdom, both boys and girls wore the side lock of youth, a long tress of hair that trailed down the side of the head. This was shaved off when the child reached puberty. When the child reached puberty. Yo, what's going on? I thought you was a man, brother. Yo, polite. Yo, where the KEMET community at? How you let this brother walk around with a lock and you ain't tell him what time it was? I thought y'all know KEMET. I thought y'all know the history of ancient Egypt. That's basic 101 KEMET. That's in an encyclopedia, huh? So today, you a child. You a child today, brother. You not my elder. You not my you a child. For all the disrespectful things you come at us with, you a child now. Okay? And I'm Boricua, so we're gonna call him Chamaquito. The only sellers you can find when people with side locks is little children. We got right here, okay? Pharaoh Thutmose the first of the 18th dynasty of ancient Egypt with the chief wife, Queen Amos. And daughter, Nefertiti, with a lock. Let's go. The Kamwaset relief from 1279 BC, depicting a young brother with a lock. The Romans also took this sculpture of a Roman boy with his hair in the Egyptian style with a lock of Horus. You want to know what this lock means? That's what the lock means. The side lock of hair was cut off and dedicated to the gods in connection with the coming of age ceremony, marking the transition to adult life. Let's go, these are original stellars. That's a modern day KEMET young brother right there. Not a man, next to Shaka Amos the child. A disobedient child. Shaka Amos lock, is it cast down?
You wanna know? You wanna know what this lock
Cast
means?
down?
You gonna find out what this lock means before you
You
go.
cut that lock
Let's
off
go.
there, bro. Let's go. Now,
My lock, this lock is too heavy for all of you combined cannot hold it together with your hands.
ready?
Let's go.
Now defend your lock, bro. We're coming on trial. Let's go.
The one thing that you will find about myself, the one thing that you will find about myself is I didn't come here to entertain you. I came here to teach you because my people have been deprived for 200, 300 years the luxury of reading and writing. It was illegal for us to read and to write in this country. And because it was illegal for us to read and to write in this country, many of us are playing catch up, but we don't know it. The brother Awan Yansa, who just gave his passionate dissertation after the rap group did their thing. I like the rap, by the way. It was very good. If I wanted to, I could embarrass you right now. I'm not going to do that. Instead, what I'm going to do, Awan Yansa, is I'm going to teach you. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at the screen. See, the problem is that you went to the ancient Egyptian encyclopedia. You went to Google. What you should have done was you should have gone to the source. You should have gone to the source and allowed the people of ancient Kemet, ancient Tameri, and Tawi to speak for themselves, as I am going to, because I have respect for my ancestors. Don't what? Okay. Now, I'm going to let the people, the Africans of the Nile Valley, speak for themselves. When I show you what I show you, I do not want you to laugh at Awan Yansa. I'm serious. He did what he did out of ignorance. He is as much of a victim of our Holocaust as any of us are in here. I will not tolerate anyone laughing at him simply because he was incorrect. Now we will all learn together. This is the coffin text. This is the eschatological text of ancient Kemet. This is where they explain to you their cosmology, their worldview, during life, before life, and after. Now I'm going to read to you what they said. I have become greatest of the greats. You tell me if these are the words of a child. I have become greatest of the great. I have come into being among the beings who clear the vision of his soul eye. I have opened and built up the injured eye, for I am one of them. I know the united arm, into which the greatest of the seas was not initiated. The hushing of the mouth in the Sanuk festival, the hostile acts by the destroyer against the heir of arm. I know why a braided lock is made for a what? A what? A what? A what? A what? Don't you ever disrespect me again. Ever. Ever. You are not accustomed to looking at the real thing. You are now looking at the real thing. stand down. My child should never sit in your classroom. Ever. There is not a Hebrew Israelite breathing that can teach my child.
Go ahead, Shaka. Go ahead, Shaka.
Don't you ever disrespect Allah again. I told you it was too heavy for you. You just dropped it on the floor because it was too heavy for you.
Give it up for Shaka.
All right,
Great flood, and what I did here, I took all the words that all those verses that I just quoted, and showed the strong concordance number next to it. Okay, now go to the next slide real quick. The word great flood of great, okay, is Hebrew or strong concordance 14, H1419. H1419 does not exist in none of them, meaning the term great flood, he made it up. Great flood, find me the source, find me the Bible, and I look at every verse. There is not one term, great flood, referring to the flood. Okay, so that's plagiarized full of crap. Okay, get that source. Next slide. Okay, and Acts 30, okay, he said that the term, let me go to the next slide. Okay, here we go. He stated that the word we took, give me the ordinance, the first one, pyramid text 104, 106. I'm 406, sorry.
This is pyramid text utterance 406. I'm going to start at verse 708.
Come on.
It says, may the brewers listen to come to terms with him. 708 B. As they are long in days, patient at work, as they are satisfied in nights.
Okay.
708 C. So he, the deceased, takes his place at the table.
Just read the highlighted, the red part.
Partakers of his meal. Satisfied with their nourishment. And that's it.
Okay, so he stated that Luke 17 and 27 quotes, they share in the Lord's Supper and ate together. What does Luke 17 and 27 say?
Luke chapter 17, verse 27. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all.
Are you sure? So the quote, they ate and shared the Lord's Supper and ate together, does not even exist in the actual source that he brought out. It's again, huh? It is, listen, we only got 5 minutes. I gotta be out. There's so many. Let's go to the next one. All right, let's read the highlighted part. That's it.
It says, which one? The yellow eye?
No, just the red.
This is 1508 pyramid text utterance.
So real quick, on top is what he claimed, and the bottom is what he claimed we took. So let's read that real quick.
1508A is conceived by.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is conceived by Ra. He is born of Ra.
Okay. Go to 1 John 5.
This is 1 John chapter 5, verse 1. Whosoever believeth that Jesus is the Christ is born of God, and everyone that loveth him, that begot, loveth him also that is begotten of him.
Read that again from one time. That sounds like plagiarism. 15088. Read that again.
1508A. is conceived by Ra, he is born of Ra.
The word man is usually referred to as Pepi or Pharaoh. So a pharaoh or a sovereign is conceived by Ra, meaning these guys were demigods. They were claiming they were half human, half gods. Let's read 1 John, Galatians 4 and 4. Read that again.
It's the book of Galatians chapter 4, verse 4. But when the fullness of the time was come, the Most High sent forth his Son, made of a woman, made under the law.
So he's using words, God here, rod over there, sent, Christ, born. He's using just words. You can't plagiarize words, Shaka. Okay? Let's go to the next one.
Pyramid text utterance 483.
Come on.
This is verse 1013a. Earth hear that which Geb said, that he spiritualized Osiris as God.
Come on.
As the watchers of Buto,
okay,
and the watchers of Heracleopolis proclaimed him.
He proclaimed him. So he claimed that he, from Luke 2:34 and Acts 9:20, we stole the words, appointed him, and proclaimed him. But guess what? We checked. Those two words does not exist. Read Luke 2 and 20 and 34.
This is the book of Luke chapter 2, verse 34.
What kind of garbage is this, Shaka? Come on. We proved this thing? Come on, Shaka. I told you time and time again, brother, your destruction is going to be the hate for the Bible and your love for KEMET. You were staying all night, losing meals and all that. You know, I spent a whole year, and this is the best you could come with? Come on, typos. And get this one. I'm going to put this in the hands of white people, right? I want to go into institutions and have people textualize this and criticize this thing. And it's a damn shame because you represent the black community. And within the black and Hispanic community, we got negative stereotypes. We can't read, we can't write, we misspell words. You're a 50-year-old man, you're running around misquoting stuff and misspelling words. Come on, Okay, next slide. Okay, let me go to the hard one. This is stupid. This is like I'm getting dumber just thinking about it. All right. The word, okay, so he claims that we stole the term Lord of Heaven, okay, from the pyramid text, right? Because you can clearly see that term Lord of Heaven. But the problem is this, right? Who is the Lord of Heaven in the Egyptian chronology? In this, you got Horus is the Lord of Heaven, is referred to him. Okay, over here it has Horus is the Lord of Heaven, and here it has Ra is the Lord of Heaven. Can the real Lord of Heaven please stand up? But in the Hebrew culture, who's the real Lord of Heaven? Let's get that. Read that.
This is the book of Acts chapter 17, verse 22. Then Paul stood in the midst of Mars Hill and said, Ye men of Athens, I perceive that in all things ye are too superstitious.
Come on.
For as I passed by and beheld your devotions, I found an altar with inscription to the unknown power.
Come on.
Whom therefore ye ignorantly worship.
Come on.
Him declare I unto you.
This is the true law of heaven. Read.
The Most High that maketh the world and all things therein.
The Most High that makes the world and all things therein. Read.
Seeing that he is the power of heaven and earth.
The power of heaven and earth. Ra only has earth, heaven. Yes, we got one on you. And what else? Read.
Dwelleth not in temples.
And what heaven? We talking, there's many heavens. Read.
Dwelleth not in temples made with hands.
Come on.
Neither is worship with men's hands, as though he needed anything, seeing he giveth to all life and breath and all things.
Okay, so hold that. Okay, next one. He claimed that we took the term kings of kings and lords of lords and prince of princes from the book of the dead, right? Papyrus Ani, whatever that is, right? All right, but check this out. That terminology, read that again, read it on top. This is from Wikipedia. This is common knowledge. The term kings of kings is a Middle Eastern term. Read that.
This is the King of Kings from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. King of Kings is a title that has been used by several monarchies and empires throughout history. The title originates in the ancient Near East.
Okay, hold that. So you got the Hindus, they use it. Okay, you can get this on Wikipedia. The Africans, they use it. The Buddhists, they use it. Okay, in Africa. But let's see who's the real kings of kings. And I'll show you within our writings, we used to refer to other kings of kings, because this was a general term. But the true King of kings and Lord of lords, we all know that's Christ, Yeshua Messiah. I heal. And there's more. Hebrews, let me hear you. This book is garbage. Throw this thing away, Shaka. It's garbage to the black race. And you fake your book out, that's what we hear. Kemet's on trial. I don't want to hear about King James, I don't want to hear about nothing. Kemet's on trial.
I don't understand the evil side. I'm gonna be blocking my right here. I'm good, right? Thank you. That's what's up. How you? No, brother. Here we go. Thank you. I want to apologize to everyone here that they had to sit through that poor exposition of pseudo scholarship. You should not have been subjected to that. You deserve better. Even the Hebrew Israelites deserve better. You deserve better than that. It's just, I guess, I'm where I'm supposed to be. Okay, I'd rather be home, I don't know, writing a song or something, but here we go. So, this is going to be interesting. Normally, I talk a lot, but I'm just going to go straight to read. Okay, so yeah, this is what has everybody losing sleep. My little book. They call it a pamphlet. Have you ever seen so much controversy from a little pamphlet fill a room with this much people? Never. You never have. Their Bible got about 800 pages in it. Mine's got about 13 pages in it. And look how many people it done fill the room with. Alright? So let's keep that in mind. Let's rock and roll, people. Here we go. Okay. This is the Haaretz, the most respected newspaper in Zion, the promised land, Israel. Haaretz, Hebrew, the land. Newspaper published in Tel Aviv, Israel's oldest daily and generally considered the country's highest quality newspaper. Haaretz, which means Hebrew, the land. As an independent liberal paper, and moved to Tel Aviv in 1923. The Haaretz influence and prestige are second to none in Israel. This is the #1 paper in Israel, and it has maintained an active independent stance attacking government and societal abuses throughout history. So it's the #1 newspaper in Israel, and it has a conscience. It believes in doing the right thing and speaking out against its government. Okay? Haaretz, Hebrew, literally the land of Israel. Originally Hadashat, Hebrew, the land of Israel, is Israel's oldest newspaper. It was founded in 1918. Oh, this one is from, I'm sorry, that last one was from Encyclopedia Britannica. This one is from Wikipedia, just so you can get another view of it. The Haaretz, the land of Israel, originally Hadashat, Haaretz, Hebrew. News of Land of Israel is Israel's oldest newspaper. It was founded in 1918. It's now published in both Hebrew and English in Berliner format. The English edition is published and sold together with the International New York Times. Not just the New York Times, the International New York Times. Okay? So, yeah, don't nobody talk. Both Hebrew and English editions can... What? No. I got a lot to show. The English, you go slow, it's your turn. The English edition is published and sold together with the International New York Times. Both Hebrew and English editions can be read on the internet. I suggest you guys read the English edition. In North America, it comes out as a weekly newspaper combining articles from the Friday edition with the roundup from the rest of the week. An independent newspaper of record. That means that this thing is a prestigious publication. Okay? Some commentators state that it plays the role in Israel that the New York Times plays in the United States. It is known for its staunch left liberal stance on domestic and foreign issues. Now, the New York Times is such an important newspaper. Number one, it's written at a college level, so most people don't read it. Don't sit there and lie and say you read the New York Times, because you know you don't. Okay? Now, here we go. Let's rock it. This is the Haaretz. This is what the people of Israel, of Haaretz, read every day. So if your child is a black Hebrew Israelite, and you take them over to Dimona or Hassor or any of the other Israelite cities, if they have to do a report, remember when we were in school we had to do reports called current events? Remember that? You got to do current events. You go to the newspaper, you find out what's being reported, and you go to school and you do a story on it. So you see, If I was living in Israel and my child was going to school and had to do a current events report, let me show you the report my child would do from current events, from the top newspaper in Israel. Go home and look at it. Haaretz, look it up. Let's see, they asked the question. This is relatively recent. March 26, 2012. Were Jews ever release slaves in Egypt, or is Passover a myth? Where is the real proof, archaeological evidence, state records, and primary sources? Now you gotta watch these people over here. They're Jews in one conversation, the Hebrew Israelites in another conversation. Whenever the word goes against them, if it's the word Jew, oh, we're not Jews. If it's the word Hebrew, oh, wait a minute, we're not Hebrews. Don't worry, because I got your asses triangulated. I'm coming at you from every angle. So here we go, okay? Here we go, okay? Where is the real proof? Archaeological evidence, state records, and primary sources. This is an Israelite paper from Israel. Okay? Let's go. Excuse me, I'm talking. Thank you very much. Nobody interrupted the Hebrew Israelites. If you ain't scared, then let me go on. Don't be scared. You feel me? Here we go. Were Jews ever released slaves in Egypt, or is Passover myth? By Josh Mintz. He's a blogger for the Jewish World, blogger for Haaretz. This is from the article. Read it yourself. One of the biggest events of the Jewish calendar is predicated upon reminding the next generation every year of how the Egyptians our cruel slave masters in a bondage that likely never happened. That's A. This is B. Now this is an Israelite newspaper. This is not the Black American or Ebony. It's an Israelite newspaper. Okay? The reality is that there is no evidence whatsoever that the Jews were ever enslaved in Egypt. Yet there's a story contained within the Bible itself. Excuse me, moderator, I want you to get the crowd in order because I'm not going to speak about boom.
Testing. Come on, family. Come on, what y'all scared of, goddammit? Come on, man. We need y'all to be respectful the same way we're going to be respectful to the Hebrews. Let's be respectful. Let the brother get it in. What y'all scared of? Let him get it in.
Family. You know, there's so much. Family, there is so much great information that I learned when the gathering of Christ Church spoke. A lot of information I learned. And I am asking that we're able to continue this information gathering. You, the audience, are the winners here. And there's so much that I want to learn. And I learned today. I see my brothers, I've interacted with my brothers, I've enjoyed, and I've learned. And somewhere, the truth may not be on either side, but it could be somewhere in the balance of both. So, let's go.
Here we go. All right. I want to give you you don't mind if I give you some PhDs, right? I like the PhD stuff. I'm not a religious person, I like scholarship. So I'm here to bring you scholarship. If you want a religion, go to the synagogue, go to the church. I didn't come here to give you religion. Okay, I came here to give you scholarship. Here we go. This is Dr. Robert Kugler, Paul S. White Professor, Director of Strategic Initiatives, and the Chair. Paul Kugler is the Paul S. White Professor of Christian Studies, Department Chair of Religious Studies and Classical Studies, and the Director of Strategic Initiatives. He teaches courses on Jewish and Christian origins, including courses on both the Hebrew Bible and New Testament. His special area of research deals with the interface between the social historical context of early Judaism and Christianity and the religions interpretations of their received texts and traditions. He is particularly engaged with interpretative traditions in the Dead Sea Scrolls and in Jewish and Christian literature from Greco-Roman Egypt, as well as with the documentary evidence for the Judean life in Hellenistic Egypt. His academic credentials, PhD, 1994, University of Notre Dame. A Master's in Divinity with honors, Theological Seminary, Bachelor's with honors, Lewis and Clark College, Field of Study and Language Competencies, Hebrew Bible, Pseudepigrapha for Dead Sea Scrolls, Early Judaism, New Testament, Jewish Literature, History and Greco-Roman Egyptian languages, Aramaic, Greek, Hebrew, Modern Language, French, German, Lesson Competency in Modern Hebrew, which means that he's more fluent in the ancient Hebrew than he is in the modern. Let's see what he said in his book. I like to read a lot. In this book right here, and that's his partner, Dr. Patrick Harton, another PhD. He got about 2 different PhDs. taught New Testament at the University of Waterland in Johannesburg, South Africa. Studied at the Gregorian University in Rome, chair of the Classical Civilizations Department, and teaching New Testament studies in the Religious Studies Department at Gonzaga University. Let's look at their book. I like PhDs. You see, they haven't showed you one source. And every source they showed you was garbage. I'm showing you what the PhDs say. The story of Moses' flight to Midian following the murder of the Egyptian overseer may draw on the Egyptian tale of Sinué. An introduction to the Bible, page 74, Robert Kugler and Patrick Harton. That's a PhD. Let's move on to the next one. This is Israel Finkelstein. This guy has more PhDs than probably everybody in this room combined. I'm not going to even go into the credentials because it's sick. We'd be here for the rest of the delivery. This is important. Another PhD all over the place. I like the PhD. That's just me personally. Here we go. The Bible on Earth. If you want to see through their lies, if you want to educate your child on why you have to throw the Bible in the garbage, this is the book to read. Do not say after today that you did not see it. It is called The Bible Unearthed. Archaeology's New Vision of Ancient Israel and the Origin of its Sacred Text. Israel Finkelstein and Neil Asher Silverman. Okay? He was born in Israel. All right? You didn't read about it in the book. He was born there. Here we go. Okay? That's why. Let's see what they say. I want you to understand this. I didn't come here to defend my book. I don't have to defend a book that stands on its own merit. They did a horrible job of the presentation. I came here because what is the point of defending a book against a group of people who don't know who they are? They tell you that they are Hebrews. What's that? They tell you, their Bible story tells you that they left Egypt in the Exodus, and then they wandered through the desert, and at the order of God, through Joshua, they conquered the Canaanite people. And that's how they ended up in Canaan. They went city to city, they went city state to city state, and they conquered the people. This is what they tell you. It's in their Bible. Read it. I read it, so I hope you read it. And by the way, the Bible verses that he was quoting from, that was so much crap it wasn't even funny. Okay, the first question I should have asked you is what version of the Bible you reading, because you want to pretend there's only one version. And we all know there's 1,000 versions. And then none of them say the same thing. So now, let's keep it moving. This is what it says. The archaeological scientific evidence proves the biblical story false. Who really were the Israelites and where did they come from? This is PhD at the university level. I'm not giving you the garbage. I don't play with the high school stuff. All right? The discovery of the remains of a dense network of highland villages, all apparently established within a span of a few generations, indicated that a dramatic social transformation had taken place in the central hill country of Canaan.
Hold on, Shaka. Hold on. Please, people, the people in the back of the room, they're saying they can't hear them because there's too much chatter going on. You understand? So we just, really would appreciate it for the edification of everybody in the building so that they can hear what the speakers are saying. All right, just to keep the chatter down.
They want to drown me out because they don't want you to learn. They drown you out with the Bible, they drown you out with everything else, and they want to drown me out.
Please, can we just keep the chatter down so that everybody, people pay good money to come in here to hear this, so we want to make sure that everybody can hear it. Go ahead, Shaka.
Here we go. Israel's Canaanite origin. Do you see the title? Israel's Canaanite origin. They want you to think that they are not the Canaanites, or the identity that they claim is not Canaanite identity. They want you to think that they came from someplace else, was enslaved in Egypt, then they went to Canaan and conquered the people. Don't forget that. Because what I'm going to show you is going to turn the Bible on its head. Now watch. The discovery of the remains of a dense network of highland villages, all apparently established within a span of a few generations, indicated that a dramatic social transformation had taken place in the central hill country of Canaan around 1200 BC. There was no sign of a violent invasion or even infiltration into a clearly defined ethnic group, Instead, it seemed to be a revolution in lifestyle. In the formerly sparse populated highlands from the Judean hills in the south to the hills of Samaria in the north. That means all of Israel. The Judea hills in the south and the hills all the way to Samaria in the north. Far from the Canaanite cities that were in the process of collapse and disintegration, about 250 hilltop communities suddenly sprang up. Here were your first Israelites. Let me tell you what that means, because this is very serious archaeology. This is not the high school stuff. This is not even the stuff you're going to get as an undergrad. This is the post-grad stuff when you're out in the field and you're working. What that means is that at a certain period in Canaan's history, I really suggest you listen. At a certain period in Canaan's history, they had a social revolution from inside. I don't even have to look at the book to tell you why, because I know the history better than I know my own room. The reason that they had a social revolution is because the elite people in Canaan, they were oppressing their own people. It was really about the haves and the have-nots. The haves in Canaan were in the pocket of the Egyptians. So whatever the Egyptians wanted from the economy of Canaan, the haves in Canaan would give it to them. And this made the people out in the suburbs resent them. It made them, so I just showed you the source, the Bible on earth. That's the source right there, the Bible on earth. I'm gonna keep going, Here you go. Hold on, since you want sources, let's give some sources. Let's see. Here we go, because, they tend to make a lot of claims. You tend to make a lot of claims and you appropriate things for yourself that don't rightfully belong to you. You ask them about Hebrew, it's the oldest language in the world. Adam and Eve spoke it, blah, 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 but they're going to tell you that all day long. Let's see if Hebrew is the oldest language in the world. Let's find out. Because I really want to know. All right? Okay, let's see here. Hold on one second. I want to find out. If it's the oldest language, it should have the oldest alphabet, if you ask me. Unless it took you a long time to learn how to read and write. Let's see. The world's oldest known alphabet was developed in Central Egypt around 2000 BCE from a hieroglyphic prototype. And over the next 500 years, it spread to Canaan and eventually to the rest of the world. But before we do that, let's establish this. Canaanites and Israelites, the same people. Let's see. The process that we describe here is in fact the opposite of what we have in the Bible. The emergence of early Israel was an outcome of the collapse of the Canaanite culture, not its cause. And most of the Israelites did not come from outside Canaan. They emerged from within it. There was no mass exodus from Egypt. There was no violent conquest of Canaan. Most of the people who formed early Israel were local people, the same people who we see in the highlands throughout the Bronze and Iron Ages. The early Israelites were irony of ironies themselves, originally Canaanites. That is from the #1 archaeologist in Israel, on the planet. On the planet. The Israelites and the Canaanites were the same people. That is a fact. They were the same people. There was never a conquest. There was never a conquest. There was never an exodus. That's what the archaeology on the ground says. That is what the evidence says. Let's go. Here we go. Let's go. Let's see. 1 second. Here we go. Oh, this is a book called The Story of Civilization, Our Oriental Heritage. It's by Dr. Will Durant, PhD, Columbia University. This is what it says. Let's get the facts, folks. Let's get the facts in the argument. Okay? Here we go. These are the facts. The Phoenicians did not create the alphabet. They marketed it, taking it apparently from Egypt and Crete. They imported it piecemeal. You know what? I don't even want to read that. I'm going to go to the good stuff. We'll talk to the good stuff. Original black, now I want the good stuff. Here we go. Better questions, better the answers. Oh, here we go. All right. The better the questions, the better the answers. When were the earliest books of the Bible written? Let's find out. Let's see. The first book of the Bible, Genesis. Let's read the bottom of it because I don't have time. The time will be eaten up. 14 minutes? Okay, let's see. Tradition credits Moses as the author of Genesis, as well as Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and most of Deuteronomy. But modern scholars, I told you I didn't come here to bring you religion. I came here to bring you scholarship. If you want religion, go down to the church and give them your money so they can tell you a good story. I'm giving you what the science and the scholarship says. Okay? It says tradition credits Moses as the author of Genesis, as well as Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and most of Deuteronomy. But modern scholars increasingly see them as a product of the 6th and 5th century BCE. That's very important because we know that Moses did not exist in the 5th or 6th century BCE. Now this is going to go over a lot of people's heads because most of you in the audience are not anthropologists, you are not archaeologists, most of you are not even bona fide historians, which means you have to understand the importance of dates. Dates don't lie. People lie. all the time. Dates don't lie. Here we go. I'm not going to use that. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here, that paper. That's the stuff he said. Matter of fact, I'm going to answer his question. He said, Awanya Stop said, everything about the Hebrews is in contrast to the Egyptians. Did he say that? He said that. Did he say that? He said, no. He didn't say everything about the Egyptians was in contrast to the Hebrew, and then he gave an explanation. Anyway, I heard him say, he said everything about the best. That's not on film saying. Here we go. People, Judahites flee into Egypt in the 6th century. Okay, so he said, how could they have gotten to the text? Well, if the Bible was made in the 5th century, I want to show you that they were in Egypt in the 5th century when their Bible was made. I didn't say their Bible was made in Egypt, but they were in Egypt when their Bible was made at the same time, 6th century BCE. Let's see. Judahites flee into Egypt in the 6th century, 586 BCE. Although the account of Kings does not provide a precise number of exiles taken away from Judah at the time of the destruction of Jerusalem in 586 BCE, it does state that after the murder of Gedaliah and the massacre of the Babylonian garrison at Mizpah, all the people fled to Egypt. 2 Kings 25:26. He's going to tell you that's not the Bible either. Presumably leaving the countryside of Judah virtually deserted. So in other words, so many Judeans in the 6th century fled into Egypt that they left their whole countryside deserted. Okay, that's what the documentation says. Let's see. And Jeremiah, we all know the book of Jeremiah. I think Jeremiah also ran into Egypt. You know, they always running into Egypt. They hate Egypt. Egypt is everything under the sun. But we can't keep them the hell out of Egypt. So hold on one second. Let's see. The Bible says, here we go. I'm not going to go. So we got you in Egypt, in the 6th century BCE, when your Bible is first being produced. All the earliest books of the Bible, 6th century BCE. The documentation is there. I don't have to repeat myself. Let's see. Judah, was it necessary for 6th century BC Judahites to be in ancient Egypt to have been exposed to or have had access to ancient Egyptian?
He claimed that we stole the word wise. One word. And read 2017A.
This is 2017A. To thee come the wise and the understanding. Thou art called to the southern tier, palace. To thee come the gods.
Read it from the top, I correct again.
2017A. To thee come the wise and the understanding.
To thee come the wise and understanding. They were bragging to that, whatever that came. So read the actual translation. What is the topic on top, the yellow?
Resurrection, transfiguration, and life of the King in heaven.
Right, so they were giving him props. Read the actual Bible scripture.
This is Matthew chapter 2, verse 1. Now, when Yeshua was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem.
Next slide. That's not even plagiarism. You can't plagiarize a word, Shaka. Now we took the word serpent. Literally, I'm not lying to you. He's literally just put 2 words in his book and claimed we took that concept. Now, you can take the serpent because we all know who's the serpent. That's Satan. Next slide. Okay, he claimed that the term his feet shall be kissed, right? From a pyramid text 685, verse 871. Next slide. It doesn't exist. It doesn't say that. That's it. That's it up there. Where's 871, Shaka? Explain that, Shaka. Another typo. Come on, Shaka. You said you dropped out of 9th grade? This work shows that. It shows that. Next slide. Okay, that's actually the script. He got that right. Next verse. Okay, he claimed that the term you shall reach the sky of Orion came from pyramid text 412 verse 723. Next slide. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Where you got your sources, Shaka?
You gotta apologize for that, man.
You gotta apologize. Tell me again. Next slide. Okay, he claimed that the term I I live by grace is quoted in Pyramid Text 570 verse 149 or 1451. Next slide. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Next slide. Defend your book. Defend KEMET. Okay, he claimed that the term preeminence that we took. Now he said we took a word, preeminence. Okay. In Ordinance 364, 621. Next slide. It doesn't exist. Next slide.
Yet again.
He claimed that the term, read that again. Go back to the next slide. Go back. Oh, he screwed up twice. Go back to 45, right? In the bottom, you see that? Ephesians 2 and 8, it claims that it says the body of the church, who is the beginning and the firstborn from the thing, I can't make it out, and he might have the preeminence. Read the actual verse.
This is the book of Ephesians chapter 2 verse 8. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of the Most High.
It doesn't exist. He misquoting stuff. This book is garbage. How can you plagiarize a word? Next slide. Okay. Last but not least, he claimed that the term for I have ascended, I have assumed authority, comes from Pyramid Text 257. I got it up there. It doesn't exist. You see that? Give me another one. These things don't exist. He is making these things up. This is who I am. You can see it. These things don't exist. Fix, copy your, prove your work. Next slide.
Don't be deceived by his book.
Right, it's garbage. It's garbage. Prove work and stuff. And then quote the bottom line, Dr. Ben will not approve of this garbage. Defend KEMET, defend your book.
Hello, what's that? Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me in the back? Can you hear me up there? Okay, that's what's up. I'll get you in a second. As soon as I get someone, hey, Divine Prospect, where you at? Divine Prospect, I need somebody to get my PowerPoint out. Huh? I need somebody to get it. It's Divine Prospect. Alright. Your prospect, let's go. Divine Prospect, let's go. Something figures. Well, let's see. Let's find out. Hey, somebody pass me some water. Okay, here we go. Judah, let's read about Judah, people, because that's where your Bible comes from. Judah strongly influenced by Egypt over and over again prior to the 6th century BC. Egyptian influence on Israel and Judah was particularly strong in the reigns of Solomon and Hezekiah. Okay? 10th century BCE, during Egypt's third intermediate period. Do you see that, Hebrew Israel? Thank you very much. Don't knock that over. My Hebrew Israelite family, do you see that? Egyptian influence on Israel and Judah was particularly strong in the reigns of Solomon and Hezekiah, 10th, 8th century BCE, during Egypt's third intermediate period. As a result, I hope you're ready for the next part, because I want y'all to pay attention. As a result, because you can all read it says, as a result, Hebrew literature is permeated with concepts and figures derived from the didactic treaties of Egypt, with Amenemhotep often cited as the foremost example. Legacy of Egypt, Ancient Egyptian Literature by Miriam Lichtai, both PhD. I will read it again because you want to pretend that I didn't read it. I'm going to read it for you again. It says, Hebrew literature is permeated. Do you know what permeated means? Do y'all know what permeated means? I don't think they know what permeated means. Okay? Now, I'm going to read it again. Hebrew literature is permeated with concepts and figures derived from the didactic treaties of Egypt, not from the Bronx, not from Queens, not from Baltimore. So let's go. Let's go. Here we go. All right, hold on. Here we go. Oh, here we go. This is from the book. Oh, guys, pay attention. You can't say Shaka Amos did not tell you this. There is an article you want to read in Biblical Archaeology Review, and it's written by Dr. Robert Deutsch. The name of the article, I'm going to give you the name of the article, have your pen and paper out. So the next time you got to shut one of these Hebrew Israelites down, oh no, let me not say that. The next time you have to teach and share and impart to one of your Hebrew Israelite family members, you'll have this text. I got one, thank you, I appreciate it. Here we go. It says, in the Iron Age, fiat artifacts, so, by the way, all the way to the 6th century BCE, that's why I have it underlined. The same era in which their Bible was produced, 6th century BCE, what does it say? In the Iron Age, 1200 to the 6th century BCE, fiat artifacts such as amulets depicting a variety of gods and goddesses from the Egyptian pantheon are found at almost what? Every ancient site in Israel. Egyptian iconography was also used in highly prized ivory carvings found at Samaria, capital of the northern kingdom of Israel. It didn't matter. What's that? Because y'all don't really understand the nature of what I'm talking about. My mic need to be up. Somebody done paid for my mic to be turned down. I know the role, I know how it works. Here we go. You can see it. I'll read it again. And Hebrew Israelites, that's what your grand folks was doing. They was worshiping. This is not in Egypt. This is in Israel. In Israel. Okay, here we go. In the Iron Age, 6th century BCE, fiat artifacts such as amulets depicting a variety of gods and goddesses from the Egyptian pantheon are found at almost, not some Israel sites, not most ancient Israelite sites. What does it say? It says, found at almost every ancient site in Israel. Egyptian iconography was also used in highly prized ivory carvings found at Samaria, the capital of northern kingdom of Israel. Okay, no problem. Let's see what else they say. Here we go. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Here we go. Tradition cut the smoke out. Here we go. No, don't worry about that. Here we go. Oh, hey, you might like this one. This is from Did God Have a Wife? And this is by Dr. William G. Dever. Now these are all straight up archaeologists. Okay? It says, Did God Have a Wife? Archaeology and folk religion in ancient Israel. William G. Dever. He's not from the Kemetic community, I can assure you. All right? In fact, there he is right there. William G. Dever, he's an American archaeologist. This is what the archaeologists say. This is what the experts say. My job is to bring you the experts. It's not to tell you a good story. The experts say this. We actually have 100 of Iron Age amulets, mostly from Judean temples. But again, few biblical scholars have paid attention to them. Amulets, by definition, are magic symbols, used mostly to bring good luck, turning away the evil, apotropaic. They would probably have been used by many people in ancient Israel. And being amongst their most precious possessions, they were buried with the deceased. Now they're describing what the people in Israel buried themselves with, their most precious possessions. Now they're going to tell you what their prized possessions were. Pay attention. The most common ones found in the Judean tombs are Egyptian Eye of Horus plaques, figurines of Egyptian deities, especially Best, guardian of the dead. Yeah, they were burying themselves in Israel with Egyptian god statues and Eye of Horus. That's what you would do. Let's go. Let's go. Hold on. Let's continue. Here we go. Hold on. Nah, not that. Oh, here we go. Hold on. I wouldn't even do that. I'm gonna get the good stuff in my time. I got 4 minutes. Let me find something good for you. Yeah. Y'all messed up. Should've left me alone. Here you go. Their favorite king, one of their favorite kings, when they say, oh, the Hebrew Israelites existed, the first king they go to is Hezekiah. Okay? Hezekiah or Hezekiah. Okay? He's the first one they go to. They don't even name David, Solomon. They go to Hezekiah because the Assyrians write about him. Okay? Well, hold on. I want to show you, you know, every king has a seal. I'm going to show you. I got to stop yelling. I'm going to lose my voice. Guys, I need some quiet. If I'm yelling over you, I'm going to lose my voice. You're not going to hear anything I said. You've been making money for nothing. Okay? Guys, choice. I need to get my mic turned up. Can you turn it up? Can you turn it up? It's up? All right, thank you. I shouldn't have to be yelling when I got a mic in my hand. That makes no sense. Thank you. All right, go ahead. Here we go. All right, that's what I need. Thank you. I got some sound now. This is Hezekiah's seal. Do you see it? It's called a bulla. A bulla belonging to Hezekiah, the son of Ahaz, king of Judah. On it is a winged solar disc and 2 Ankh symbols. Hold on, you think I'm joking? There it is, biblical archaeology. You got an Ankh on the right, you got an Ankh on the left, and you got the winged solar disc right there. Yeah. You want to play with me? That's Hezekiah's seal. That's their king. They got an Ankh on it. Where's your Ankh? Let me see your Ankh. Show me the Ankh. Come on, everybody. Show me the Ankh. Show me the Ankh. Show me the Ankh. Ah, you got the wrong person. Here you go. Hold on. Let's take a better look at it. Here you go. Hold on. It's called, the article is called Lasting Impressions. Make sure you Google it. The article is called Lasting Impressions. If you email me, I will send it to every last one of you. They will never be able to say anything to you again in life when I'm done. I promise you. Okay? Here we go. Hold on. There it is again. The Ankh on the left, the Ankh on the right. See it? Okay? It says, new bull I reveal Egyptian-style emblems on Judah's royal seals. Why do you need our stuff? For what? There it is. This is a drawing of it. The Ankh on the right, the Ankh on the left. And then you have Hezekiah's name on the bottom. That's the king's seal. That's his seal. That is the Hebrew Israelite seal. Do you see it? Oh no, I'm making it up because Shaka don't know scholarship. There you go. Now, there it is right there. This is Hezekiah's seal. That's the original Egyptian. The Kepeda. And then you have it on Hezekiah's seal. Right there. Bottom row, Judahite Hezekiah copies. Top row, original Egyptian icons. Do you see it? Am I making it up? There is the winged disc on Hezekiah's seal. There it is on the tip of the ancient KEMET. Don't lie. I don't like liars. I don't like liars. Wait, it gets better. Wait, it gets better. It gets better. I got how much time? I got 38 seconds. Be quiet. Here you go. An ivory plaque center depicts, it says, almost 1,000 years of Israelite worship of ancient Egyptian gods inside of Israel. Okay? Here we go. An ivory plaque center depicts the Egyptian god head, crouching between 2 ox and holding a palm branch on either hand. It is dated to the late Iron Age and was found in Samaria, the capital of the northern kingdom of Israel. There it is right there. Hold on. An ivory head of the Egyptian goddess Hathor that dates to the late Bronze Age was unearthed at Megiddo, northern Israel. There it is. Right there it is. Boom, I'm gonna give it up. There you go. There you go. So yeah, Egyptian gods, all in Israel. You saw the king's seal. And there go the mummies in Israel that they dug up. Egyptian mummies. Don't let it die.
Hotep family. Hotep. Shalom family. Assalamu alaikum. You know, now I'm getting a sense as to why everybody in this room look alike. It's two sides of the same coin. We are one. Somos uno. Okay, now. I know it's a little exciting. We're going to work it out a little bit. It's all right. It's all right. This is healthy. Family, we're going to have the rebuttal now. We are going to have a rebuttal from the Gathering of Christ Church and a rebuttal from Shaka Akmos. And then, just to let you know where we're headed, to give all the vendors some, we're going to take a 15-minute break just to cool out, gather our sensibilities to come back, but then we're going to have round two.
That these misquotations and racist fractions were only his own concoctions caused by an acute case of Negrophobia. Brother, why are you quoting racist scholars? Why are you quoting racist scholars to give us information about ourselves? How are we going to get knowledge of self from somebody who hates us? Of the standing of Professor Beston and the U.S. of America's academic society, which ended its competing curriculum, shall be met with object vengeance. Dr. Ben said he's an enemy of ours. Why are you quoting the enemy? Okay? This is Dr. Ben. Dr. Ben disapproves.
Okay? That's what he said. That's what he said. Dr. Ben disapproved. Hold up. Let's hear what Dr. Ben said. He said Dr. Ben disapproved. So let's see what Dr. Ben says. Let's see what my mother's godfather said. Let's see what my uncle over here said. Let's see. Let's go. Hit play.
Are we to say that the theologians of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam have never once taken a trip to Egypt? From whence these things were taken?
I thought Dr. Ben disapproved. Dr. Bell, did you hear the question? Did you hear the question? Matter of fact, press play.
Oh, that's a video?
Yeah, press play.
When the Africans looked and created with, there was no God Jehovah yet. Adam and Eve yet.
Let it go. No God Jehovah yet, no Adam and Eve. Uh-oh. Goodbye. 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 Lay down. Goodbye. Goodbye. I told you to leave me alone. The best thing you could ever did was just leave me alone. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up, because you won it. Right? Where we at? There you go. Hold on. Stand the Bible, ancients. What else I got here? I know I got something fun up in here. Yeah, I see I got 1 minute and 30 seconds left. There you go. I don't have to defend my book because you didn't attack it. You didn't attack. All you did was spread vitriol. Defend my book. Defend your existence. Hold on. Here you go. Here you go. Yeah. And you know what? And I'm going to re-breast it again so you can hear it. For those of you who didn't hear what James Henry Preston said, I'm going to read it for you. He said, in lore and mythology, the Hebrews drew much from Babylonian civilization, but in morals, religion, and in social thinking in general, the Hebrews built up their life on Egyptian foundations. The fundamental conclusion that formed the basis of moral convictions and continue to do so in civilized life at the present day had already been reached in Egyptian life long before the Hebrews began their social experience in Palestine. And those Egyptian moral convictions had been available in written form in Palestine for centuries when the Hebrews settled there. The sources of our inheritance of moral tradition are therefore far from having been confined to Palestine, but must be regarded as including also Egyptian civilization. You got all your stuff from Egypt. That's basically what he said. You got all your stuff from Egypt. Dr. Ben don't disapprove. He actually agrees. You just heard him say it himself out of his mouth. I didn't have to say it. You feel me? I didn't have to say it. And then tell us, why is the oldest Bible found in Egypt, not in Israel? Tell us that right there.
All right, let's give it up, family. DOCC, let's give it up. Yo, hold on. I have a question for y'all. I have a question. I want everybody to be silent right now. I have a question for you. Are y'all ready for the final showdown? All right, we got the Armor Raw Squad team over here. Where's my brother Nasi? Let's get it in. Where they at? Come on, man. We need Nasi. We need Zion Lex. 1, 2, 1, 2. Come on, man. Let's get this on now. We need Zion Lex. We need brother Nasi. Yo, man, let's give it up for our brother Hashan, man. Hashan, where you at, man? Come on. Come on, Hashan. Take the table. Take the stand. The God Killer of the Armor Raw Squad. Come on, man. We got the God Killer, goddammit. Got
Hey, Black African Power family. I'm a Raw Squad up. Well-organized lot. Defeats a disorganized troop every time. Y'all know what it is. Hold on. I'm just playing. Yo. We got it. The teaching exhibition right here. Y'all understand that?
All right, let's go. Hold on. Do y'all want us to keep going? Hold on, family. With all fairness, right? Just listen to me. We got our brothers and sisters on the side. We got food and everything in the back. We got our Hebrew brothers on the side. We want y'all to patronize the people. Let's come back and we're gonna get it in. All right? 25 minutes. Let's go. Break time.
The devil and the Antichrist. The devil and the Antichrist, they know that they're going to go down to hell. They know that they're going to disappear from the earth. But
quiet down, family. We starting right now, so we can breeze right through it. Go ahead, Papa.
But they get their satisfaction in trying to take as many Hebrews down with them as possible, because they know they're going into damnation. But that satisfaction is not going to happen tonight. There's an old adage that Satan has, and Satan says, if I can take off the head, the snake will fall. You ain't taking the snake down because everybody here is a head. You take any one of us out, and any one of us Hebrews out, we're going to come back, and we're going to be strong. Everyone here is a force all by themselves. Here with the Hebrew war machine, you'll only find applied force and never feeble-mindedness. With that said, brothers and sisters of the jury, the respondents and or defendants are being charged with critical thinking malpractice.
Move away from the speaker.
Are being charged with critical thinking debates. One is sensationalism. Sensationalism is subject matter producing startling or thrilling impressions to excite and please vulgar taste. Here we use critical thinking, which is clear, reasoned thinking or judgment, while in the process of critical thinking, ideas should be reasoned and well thought out. Medical malpractice and critical thinking malpractice are synonymous, which are all band-aids. Let me explain to you how that works. You can go to high school and get straight A's. You can go to college and get a 4.0 GPA. Nor were they philosophical materialists. What is a philosophical materialist? Is the belief that only physical matter exists, that there is no spiritual world. These Kemetic teachers are copycats of the medical community. Just as medicine degenerates its patients, so does the atheism degenerate our spiritual system and allegiance with the Heavenly Father. How is the Hebrew system the answer to our people? Well, this is how the Hebrew system is the answer to our people. When you look at the enemy, right? The enemy has Marines, has the Navy, has the Army, has a police force. So what they do is they attack you from a physical perspective. Our system of defense is the same thing when you look at the American system, right? They have the judicial branch, the executive branch, and the legislative branch. The executive branch is the most powerful branch because it actually supports and defends whatever the legislative and the judicial branch pass through as law. So they come from a physical perspective. Us as original people, as Hebrew people, we defend our system through
through the Heavenly Father. The Heavenly Father always knew that when we had obstacles that was too great for us to overcome, the Heavenly Father said, I got your back. From a spiritual perspective, we will beat any military, any Marines, any Air Force, every Navy, because we come from a spiritual system. The greatest threat to our people right now is the atheistic system, because it destroys our executive branch. We will not allow the atheistic system to destroy our executive branch. It will not happen. Not here, not today. They are on track. For the defendants, people of the jury, they were traumatized by crusaders at the hands of the Catholic Church and the Protestant Reformation. These so-called authorities or vicars of God were actually agents of the devil. While children, these Kemetic brothers were listening to preachers from the devil's pulpit and not thinking critically and not reading the scriptures from a critical perspective so that God can actually clear up his message so that you see who the right force and the right executive branch is. Today, these respondents or defendants work in concert with the axis of evil to bedevil, torment, harass maliciously, diabolical, as with doubt, distractions, worries, and confusion as many Hebrews as they can. The defendants want to dismantle the Hebrew community because they know that we, the Hebrew war machine, are the vanguard of truth and power by way of the Most High. We collectively accuse the defendants of chemotherapy-like approach to attack God's chosen. They attack those of the Protestant, Catholic, and of the Hebrew war machine. Just like they do with chemotherapy when you got cancer, they attack the good cells and they attack the bad cells. Well, that's the attempt that they're trying to do. They're trying to attack the Christians, the Protestants, and the Hebrew war machine, and we will not allow that to happen on this day. With the excuse of Catholicism or the Christian Protestant, they advocate intervention-like treatment by killing off all of scriptures and of God. They say you got to throw the scriptures in the garbage, and you got to throw God in the garbage, in effect throwing the executive branch of our people in the garbage. This way, God's chosen people can be debilitated. Also, the defendants wants to lead us into the hands of special interest groups who only care about the dollar bill and sending us all to hell. I say to the people of the jury, the charge of critical thinking malpractice is no laughing matter. It is a felony punishable by ousting out of the conscious community and sent to the DOC, otherwise known as the Department of Correction, where they will spend time correcting the errors of their ways. We have camps here in the Hebrew war machine who will aid and assist in the responsibilities of correcting all of the defendants if they so wish. Now, another thing we have to understand that when I first started studying this, I did study under Brother Dr. Malachi York. And when I studied underneath him, at the time they had the Ansar Allah community. Under the Ansar Allah community, when they were dealing with Islam, I always thought to myself, because later on in the late 90s, he dropped a book called The Degree of Mohammedism. I said to myself, what would it have been like in the Ansar Allah community when he was Imam Isa if we had the degree of Mohammedism way back then? Probably that particular society would not have thrived and would not have existed, because with the degree of Mohammedism, we would have been able to debunk several of his claims and several of his centralized themes. With that said, tonight we're going to produce the degree of KEMET. And in the degree of KEMET, we're going to show that what they think they know about KEMET is actually not true. Because the foundation of our prosecution or our charge with the Kemetic community is their atheist centralized theme. They want to remove that at all costs, and they want to say that we are involved in spookism, that we are involved in certain practices that don't have quote-unquote scholarship. What I try to prove to you by using medicine, and if you want, I will actually use law. Because you can go to law school and become a top-notch lawyer in terms of passing the bar exam, doing well in law school, and with those accolades, you can't defend anybody justly because you don't have the critical thinking skills. All you have is a bar exam and a certification that says I'm an attorney at law, but you don't know real civics. And they also trap you when you take that degree, because what happens? When you take the degree in the state of New York, when you pass the bar exam, you can only practice law in the state of New York. You cannot practice in Florida. You cannot practice in other states. So what does that mean? That your narrow-mindedness through the dumbing down process of the education system has taken you so low that you cannot even defend your client. Now, we have a system that is being mirrored Because when we study the Kemetic doctrine, it's those same scholars are the same ones writing the books of law school books, of medical school books. They're giving you information with regards to Kemet to remove the equipment of the executive branch. How much time I have?
It's right there.
So,
You're not recording.
sorry, my phone was there.
How much time? How much time?
All right, I got 6 minutes. Good. I got 6 minutes. So, my point is, we will show today, just like in medical school, when you have cancer, if I go into a clinic and I'm gifted to cure cancer, they will throw me out of that clinic. Why? Because I have just robbed the medical community of billions of dollars that they use when somebody is diagnosed with cancer. And the way they do that, brothers and sisters, is that they give you these big words and these big scientific terms for your diagnosis or prognosis, and what they do is they awe you with these big words. They awe you with these medical terminology, so that you submit to their pharmacology and their pharmaceutical system. Well, that's the same thing the Kemetic community is notorious for doing. They will take these big words, these Kemetic words, or these alleged skills that they could translate the Medunetia, and they translate the Medunetia. You said to yourself, wow, that was deep. He can actually translate, the Medunetia. Here's another problem, brothers and sisters, that I think is very paramount. As a Boricua, I could trace my ancestors to here in the United States. And with that saying, it's very important. When we represent only one continent, which is the African continent, and if that's the only thing we're repping, we are giving our enemies power, because what happens? We have 7 continents on the planet. We don't just have one. If we take one and occupy one, we will give them 6 other continents. That's not what the Hebrew war machine is. We own almost 7 continents. The whole planet belongs to us, because the Heavenly Father said so. Because the Heavenly Father said so. Now, we're having a situation where an announcement has to be made before I continue. There's to be no recording outside of the recording that's actually sanctioned here. So if you have any recordings, please put it in your pocket. Please put it away. We are doing no additional recording except the recordings we have here. Understood? All right, so now I got 4 minutes left. I can take my time now. I lost my train of thought. All right, so the 7 continents, right, the 7 continents. Here's another thing that is very, very important. Something, a technique they use to character assassinate our critical thinking skills and our allegiance with the Heavenly Father. What they do is they tell you, oral tradition means nothing. That there is no oral tradition. And you ask, well, how is oral tradition garbage? Okay, this is what they say. You take one man in the aisle at the end, and you give him a 10-letter sentence, a 10-word sentence. By the time he gets to the last person, if there's 100 people, it'll be 1,000 words or 2,000 words, and it gets corrupted with oral tradition. But that's not true, because in oral tradition, the way the Hebrews do it, there are actual traditions, there's actual rituals, and certain things that go along with it. You don't just go from one person to the other person saying those 10-word sentences. You actually do some type of a ritual. So in doing that ritual, by the time it gets to the 100th person or the 1,000th person, it is still in its exact organic format. So they want to kill oral tradition, and they all want to deal with epigraphy, and they want to deal with doctrine. Isn't it funny that they do that in a system where the European powers have destroyed our epigraphy? You go in the Arawaks and the Taino, and we have no epigraphy, or very little. So now with very little, they can come and say, well, listen, brother, you ain't saying anything because that oral tradition is nothing. Where's your epigraphy? Where's your words on the wall? But see, because we dealt with oral tradition, okay, before we transcribed it into scripture or tablets or stuff, while we were doing oral tradition, we understood something very important. And this is what we understood. The Kemetic community tried to say that they are the cradle of all the 3 major religions, that it springs from them. This is their claim, right? But we know through oral tradition that the Heavenly Father comes before anything in Kemet. Any pyramids, any pharaohs, any hieroglyphs, and all that, the Heavenly Father came first. The Heavenly Father came first. We will not allow our Heavenly Father to be character assassinated based on a concept that because you don't have epigraphy, and because you don't have the written words, and because you don't have the tablets, and because you don't have these physical attributes, that we understood that God, the Heavenly Father, breathed into our nostrils and we became a living soul. He breathed His word into us and we are living soul. He didn't write it into us, He breathed it into us. When you look at the word spirit means aspirare, to breathe. That is that breath that we have. That is our oral tradition, our heritage. I charge the KEMET community, we're trying to remove us from that oral tradition. And I say we're going to take it back, and we're going to bring it back to the forefront, and we're going to show through oral tradition we can actually excel, and we can actually beat this devil. Because one thing we know, and we know that unequivocally, that the one Most High is all powerful, undestroyed. You cannot destroy the one Most High. The one Most High doesn't care what you think, or how you attack him. You will not defeat the one Most High, period. And you definitely ain't taking down the Hebrew war machine. Now, with that said, you got time. I got a minute. With that said, brothers and sisters, get ready for the degree of KEMET. We're gonna go in. Shalom.
Hey. No, please, not again.
Oh, I'll kill you, all right. But by the time I do, that eye won't be the only thing you're missing.
What is that? Behind you.
Oh, come on. Expect me to fall for that? I mean, try something original. What the hell are you?
No! Stay away! Don't hurt me! I heard the rumors, but you're not supposed to be
Who tore this place apart?
All right now. You know what they want me to do, right? Hold on, give me this. I don't do nothing unless I'm on a stage. That's how we work it. I've been on every major stage in New York City except the Barclays Center. I've rocked Madison Square Garden. I've rocked every major Randall's Island. I've rocked the Beacon Theater. I've rocked all. I need every black person to stand up right now. Everybody black. Every black person to stand up. If you black, stand up. If you Hebrew, stand up. If you Kemetic, stand up. Are you ready, my people? In the black, put the black fist in the hand right now. I want to welcome all the squad. We're not in front of you. Welcome the young female in itself. Come on, let's give a round of applause to the young female in itself. Give them a round of applause. Put their hands together. Gotta get this work. We're gonna put this work in, man. Sonetta TV. Sonetta TV. Now, see, y'all let's run up the time now. Let's keep it moving. Y'all ready?
Let's clear the stage. Get yourself ready, Polite.
Let's keep it moving. You ready? All right, let's keep the work going. Let's keep the work.
Hotep family. There's a 15-minute introduction. Brother Polite. Let's give Brother a round of applause.
Give it up, give it up, give it up. Let's give it in.
Y'all already know. There's no sound.
No, none of that. I said no, right? No, don't start yet. Don't start yet. Wait till I need you to go. She put it in the computer. This is for the sound to come out.
Yeah, let's get it. I'll relax everybody for some silence so we can get this thing going.
Start the time.
This is the Declaration of Innocence on behalf of KEMET. Of course, you know, I came out with a new book for today called Kemetic Arcana and the Hebrew Dialectic Subterfuge. Let's go to the next slide. And the bottom line is that when you bring someone to trial, then you have to let them know what your attack is so they can defend their position. Now, right is right and fair is fair. Now, in this particular debate, if we're taking someone to trial, as prosecutors, we have to give the defense attorney and their side all the list of what it is we are going to attack them on. That's only right. That's how courts roll, man. That's right. Now, it's many people speaking.
Yeah, so they try to pull a secret indictment, wanted us to come to trial, and didn't want to tell us what the hell the charges was. Right. And even their own Hebrew Israelite brother had to tell them, if you're going to bring somebody to court, at least let them know what the hell they come to court for. So now we go to Jeremiah 19:9. It says, I will make them eat the flesh of their sons and daughters, and they will eat one of another's flesh during the stress and siege. Now we go to Lamentations 4:10. With their own hands, compassionate women have cooked their own children who became their food when my people were destroyed. So the Hebrews definitely ate their babies. Now on many occasions, people say for polite, when people are suffering from famine and extreme poverty, they have a tendency to go to cannibalism. That's what they say. But you can't use sane excuses when you're a Hebrew Israelite. You can't be trying to play sane on one occasion and crazy in the next. So we're going to play this one. Play this one.
All things, how come the animals do not eat each other? That's against science. So naturally they should want to eat each other. How come it's not?
Because the Most High put a spirit on them on that time, because the Most High was trying to preserve them for after the flood, because the animals had to be around after the flood to reproduce. So the Most High put a spirit on them at that time where they wouldn't do that. You see what I'm saying? The Most High put a spirit on them.
Now let's go back. Go back a slide. And this is why I don't buy that shit. Because God, when the flood took place, 40 days, 40 nights, He allowed so much as a pig. He put a spirit on the pig, and the pig fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. But for His own chosen children of Israel, He let the women eat their own babies. How come God couldn't put a spirit on the Israelites and stop them from eating their own children? Right? Suffering from psychosis. What is projection? It's a mental disease. A psychoanalytical theory. Projection is the process whereby one subject believes they see attributes, both good and bad, in another. The theory views this tendency as a defense mechanism whereby inviolable or unpleasant traits, impulses, or ideas are attributed to another. In this way, the projector is able to avoid the unpleasantness in themselves. However, the theory goes on to explain that in severe cases of projection, the condition of projection may degenerate into paranoid delusions to the point that the projector believes others are responsible for the projector's problems and are secretly plotting against them. The projection basically allows the subject to ignore faults within themselves. So when a person is projecting and they have insecurities about themselves or things about themselves that they know is not becoming, they tend to blame other people for that which is transpiring within themselves. That's called projection. And so they're bringing us to court today. Can't see over there. They're bringing us to court today, but everything they're accusing us of is what's transpiring within their own community. But we'll go to the next slide. Let's listen to Danny Boy.
I shall not lie with mankind as with womankind.
So that's another thing that Israel was doing. He was committing homosexuality. So that's another thing that Israel was doing. He was committing homosexuality. So that's another thing that Israel was doing. He was committing homosexuality.
And who's the all these things in the land of Israel? And who's the all these things in the land of Israel?
So that's another thing that Israel was doing. He was committing homosexuality.
And who's the all these things in the land of Israel? And who's the all these things in the land of Israel?
So one of the charges today is homosexuality. But the Hebrew Israelite brother that got us on trial just said one of the things that they was doing on their own God's holy land was being homosexual. But they're going to try us for homosexuality. But they ain't just be homosexual, they was homosexual on God's land. Now I'm going to ask, if God could put a spirit in swine and stop it from eating, why can't God put a spirit on the Israelites and stop them from being homosexual? Go to the next one. Now I ain't said, he said they was being homosexual you on God's holy land. I ain't say it. So how the hell you can bring us to court for crimes that you perpetuate? You can't bring us to court for that. You ever see a cop run a light and he's trying to enforce the law and you looking at him like, why should I obey your law if you violated yourself? So now here's the image of the flyer. Pay attention to this flyer. You see that 6-point star? I told you, the criminally insane should never be allowed to take people like us to court. Let's go to the next one. Take a good look at the flyer. Now let's play this. Alright. So then he goes up and puts up a flyer. Well, this might show that flyer piece. He got a silly picture of me up there. A silly picture of Hot Shot because he's emotional. Then he automatically puts a Star of David, knowing it's controversial in the Hebrew Israelite community to cause a division in our group. Then he automatically puts a Star of David, knowing it's controversial in the Hebrew Israelite community to cause a division in our group. Then he automatically puts a Star of David, knowing it's controversial in the Hebrew Israelite community to cause a division in our group. Well, this might show that flyer piece. Well, this might show that flyer piece. Well, this might show that flyer piece. Okay. Can someone show that flyer, please? Now it's here, right? Now he said that I was trying to divide the Hebrew Israelite community by putting a star on the flyer. Did y'all hear that? Y'all didn't hear it? He said that I was trying to divide the Hebrew Israelite community by putting a star on the flyer. Now let's go forward. Play that. Let's go forward. So, now, what was the other part of projection? That in severe cases of projection, the condition of projection may degenerate into paranoid delusions, to the point that the projector believes others are responsible for the projector's problems and are secretly plotting against them. The projection basically allows the subject to ignore folks within themselves. Now, hold on, he gets real good. He said I was putting a 6-point star on the flyer because I know it causes controversy, so I was trying to divide the Israelites. Play it. Let's see what happens. Let's take a look at Hashar's head. Hold on. Let's keep going. Hold on. Because he's paranoid. He thinks someone's plotting against him. So let's see what else. Daniela, what is that on his arm? That insane should never be able to take you to court. But he said, I'm trying to divide the Israelites by putting this star on. But what's this on Daniela's waist? And Daniela gave us this picture for the flyer. So evidently he's part of the conspiracy to separate the Hebrew Israelites. Now they will say, what is all of this about? It's about psychosis. You got crazy people telling us we got to come to court. He thinks I'm plotting and scheming on him when he saw the 6-point star on the flyer. What am I supposed to do? Ask your brothers to come to the house and do a Hebrew Israelite photo shoot and tell them to leave their stars on? Come on, let's go to the next one. Oh man, I love this. Where's my book? Demonology by King James. Where's my book? Show me that book. Demonology by King James. Find that book for me, brother. This is interesting. You know what's inside this book? Find that book. Yo, all you gotta do is go to page 5. The average Israelite will tell you what? He'll tell you that you need to read the King James version of the Bible. The King James version. Out of the hundreds of different types of Bibles they got out there, Daniel and Hashan want you to read the King James version of the Bible. But guess what? When King James, they talking during my time. When King James, they feeling the pressure. When King James, hold on. Let me work. You know why King James wrote this book? He said because the witches and the tooth fairies was on his heels. And he had to get this shit off before they do something to him. Start reading from page 5. King James wrote this shit because the tooth fairy backed his ass down. In this book, King James believes in fairies, he believes in witches, he believes in warlocks. But these guys tell us we gotta come to court. But they support stuff like this. Hey, I got and 40 seconds. Hey, look at you. Start from page 5.
Page 5.
Start from page 5. And the damn queen of the fairies is named Diana in this book.
Read out the book. Read it.
And let's read what Queen James said. You see how emotional they being?
Very emotional.
You see it? It crumbled during my time. The Dark Side Christian History, page 116. In King James' words, I estimated that the ratio of women to men who succumbed to witchcraft was 20 to 1. Of those formerly persecuted for witchcraft, between 80 to 90% were women. Do you know what they did to people they thought were witches back then? They burned and killed them. How many people did King James say was persecuted? 80 to 90% of the women. So this means they murdered 80 to 90%
women.
Of the women. Who would be left? Nasi knows the answer to this. Hold on, let Nasi answer this question about King James. Let's go to the next one. Oh no, this is our motion for exoneration. We're innocent. This is our declaration of innocence.
That's
right. Everything y'all accusing us of, y'all guilty of.
That's right. That's right.
That's what this round is called. Declaration of innocence. Now, play this. Y'all read the
I can't use the word Bible because I hate that word. It's ugly to me. Let's use it now because you know Bible got a bad thing about it. You start talking about King James and you start high-fiving one another, but we're not getting into that. We're talking about the Tanakh because you know Bible got a bad thing about it. You start talking about King James and you start high-fiving one another, but we're not getting into that.
So he said when you start talking about King James, you start high-fiving brothers on the butt. He said, I don't like the word Bible. Let's say Tanakh. Because you start talking about King James when you deal with the Bible. You start high-fiving people on the butt. Now, how they going to get mad at me when he said it? Now, my question is, if you can't trust people who read the King James Bible because you might start high-fiving people on the butt, then why would you have teammates that believe in the King James Bible? God damn it, they read the indictment. And I'm telling you, we innocent. I'm telling you anything that they act. And I'm telling you, why they acting like that? Because that corny shit they put up, I just tore that shit up. I tore it up. They not carried on. You don't hear that from your Shiraz shit anymore, do you? That's right. I own you. I own you. Come on, KEMET. Get it up, KEMET. Black power. Black power. Black power. Black power. Shaw, they must have forgotten who I was.
Absolutely.
It's time to retire a couple of more brothers, man.
Yes, indeed.
Let's go.
All right. Now they took that long time because they thought they was going to take the air out of my tires. Uh-oh. Now I'm going to ask y'all to forgive me if I drop some F-bombs. Forgive me if I say I'm an F-bomb. Because polite is a lying motherfucker. Now, if y'all can remember, we had a conversation in the street. Okay, about money. And about where our money goes to the people. Now, why is it that Polite spent his money with George Steinbrenner with the New York Yankees, who's one of the last major league teams to put a Negro on it? Okay? Why is it that Polite has on his Gucci belt by Gucci on who's a goddamn fat? Huh? Why is he supporting the European man? Where is the black dollar? Where the hell is that? Okay? We want to come up here with information, but he want to bust shots. I'm here to hit with an atom ball. Go back to your chest. Now, if y'all notice, if you look at what Polite got on, he got on your chest. Right? However you pronounce it. That European nonsense. Okay? So let's see what he said to Polite. He said, thanks, Polite, for all your little nigga pennies. Okay? Where's this black dollar going? Huh? All this money that he got from y'all, guess who's going to?
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
Guess who's
That's
going
not true.
Gucci. Think about that. Now, where's this comedic culture?
Let's go.
You'll see it.
Let's go. But in the video, Z York talks about before he gets locked up, he says that he has forsaken God and it's time that he returned to God. And he said when he taught against God, he was possessed by demons. And he said only a demon would teach against the Creator. And he said now that I'm against my demons, I'm going back to my Creator. And the guy says, what about the pyramids? He said, how you want to question me when I'm the one who taught you, nigga? So now, one of the problems we have in the Kemetic community is that everybody that's teaching this stuff really don't believe in it. The problem with our brothers over here is that they were about to shed their elders and kick them to the curb. And the reason why they want to do this is because they know Malachi Z. York is no longer a Nubian or believes in Kemet. They know Dr. Ben is still a practicing Jew, Reggie will tell you. Ray Haynes is a snitch. So now it's time for us to continue. Let's go. Histories of Herodotus. Here then they reckon 106 years during which they say that there was nothing but evil for the Egyptians. And the temples were kept closed and not open during all the time. These kings of the Egyptians, by reason of their hatred of them, are not very willing to name them. Nay, they even call the pyramids after the name Philetus, the shepherd, who at this time pastured flocks in those regions. I want you to look at this carefully because you was taught that the Egyptians built the pyramids. I know you can't read, but the sources of histories of Herodotus, brother. The 128, brother. Don't start that foolishness with me this time. But even Sheikh Antidiyah in the introduction of Exodus or Kemet Revisited, he states that the Egyptians didn't even build a pyramid. Even Ivan Van Sertima himself said the Egyptians didn't build a pyramid. So why have you been lied to all this time? Let us go. Continue. 5. What is 5? 5 has come to be called the golden ratio because there is a certain group that has the ability to bring forth information and build pyramids. Let's listen. 5 has come. Let's go back. 5
Phi has come to be called the golden ratio of God's number. It is the proportion found in nature, the human body, etc. Phi, 1.618. For examples of phalanges on your fingers, the middle phalange is 1.618 times bigger than the first one. And the first and last phalange is 1.618 bigger than your middle phalange. Watch. Using the Pythagorean theorem, we come up with the golden triangle with the height of the square root of 5 based on 1 and a slant of 5. Taking the ratio of the base of the height, we get a ratio of 0.636. Cheops pyramid has a base of 77.9 at a height of 480.6. Taking the ratio, now mathematicians follow along, taking the ratio of the base of Cheops pyramids and the heights, you again come with a ratio of 0.636, showing that Cheops pyramid indeed is a golden triangle built with Phi in mind. Continue. When we look at the numbers 2 in the Bible, it gives us the number of the 12 tribes surrounding the tabernacle. You have the east, 186,400, west, 108,100, north, 157,600, south, 154,500. When we look at these numbers of God, dividing them by thousand simplicity, we get 18.6, 15.45, 10.1, 15.6, 157.6, which equals 603.55. The time of the sun to revolve around the galaxy is 22 million multiplied by the total of number of gods 3 times is 603.55, 603.55, 603.55 equals 22 million. The planet characteristic cubes of the orbit times around the sun sum all the planet characteristics to 25.235. Next slide. This is in your scriptures now, because when you keep on reading, the whole measurement for the pyramids is in Numbers, the 2nd chapter. So when you talk about the Egyptians building the pyramids, you're lying to yourself. Eastern numbers and God's relationship, so we can continue to go on to the next slide. Let's go, next slide. Next slide. Next slide. This is the same slide my brother Awan Ishaq did. So if you were brothers in the Kemetic thing, there's another Egyptian sleeping with animals. But you as Egyptian, you're going to cover that up because you're not about what the practice is about. You just want to hear some fly stuff and don't care about morality. Next one. Let's go. Next one. Next one. Next one. Now here you go. Show one source. All right. Here you go. Now notice they talk about the white man, right? Now the Egyptians was the first one to wrestle naked. Now if you notice right here, you see the Pansula, right? Or the Herula. Is that Shaka up there?
here we go. Hatshepsut, a female leader in man's clothing. Let's look at this. Based on ancient sculptures, the queen, Hatshepsut, who became Egypt's first female pharaoh in 1479 BC, ruled for 20 years. Sat on her throne bare-chested in a man's kilt with a false metal beard and a headdress adorned with cobras, usually worn by a male pharaoh. So now we have one of the first dykes in history, and we are pushing this, and we think this is okay. Egypt is America. That's Hillary Clinton right there. She might have got converted later. Let's go to the next slide. Oh, explain this. And this is the truth. They're not supposed to be on this computer right now because they're Googling away. But there is no rules and nobody's watching this. Polite got this rigged the way he wants to, so let's keep on going. It appears that Akhenaten and Amun, father, may have attempted to father children with his first 3 eldest daughters. It is suggested that Anu, second's oldest sister, may have died in childbirth. This is deduced from the scene found in the royal tomb, which portrays vivid displays of the occurrence of a woman dying due childbirth. It is almost likely that Akhenaten also fathered children from his other 2 daughters. Why are we condoning this? Is it because we like the golden arcs? We like the pyramids that much? But you can worship the Statue of Liberty. We about morality here. If you condone this, then I hope that you and all of these people that follow this garbage go down with it. Let's go to the next slide. Why is incest practice? According to Stanford University, your brother likes universities over here, but I'm going to tell you something about all the universities he named. Every university and degree is passed down and is ordained by the Pope. So he's telling you about the curriculum system of a slave master, and in order for you to come up here, you gotta be a slave. Shaka, I'm gonna say, I only accept degrees. I don't listen to nobody that don't have a PhD degree. But Shaka Almost left high school at 10th grade. And y'all like that, right? Y'all say Israelites don't deal with the information, they only deal with people's behavior. You damn right, because the information is supposed to make the behavior better. And that's why you got this crappy conscious community that's about taking people's money and not doing nothing with it. When I asked them to go to Ferguson, nobody wanted to go with me. Not one of these conscious brothers. Let's go. According to Stanford, go back. Let's use this. According to Stanford University classic Professor Walter Scheider, one reason is the incest sets them apart. Royal incest occurs mainly in societies where rulers have tremendous power and no peers, except the gods, since gods marry each other, social royals. All of these maladies are thought to have been results of inbreeding, which is father and mother. His father's sister, Zaha Hawass, which is an article, he writes great articles, he actually goes against the Bible at times too. Wrote a National Geographic. In my view, Tutankhamun's health was compromised from the moment he was conceived. His mother and father were full brother and sister. Now, see, the difference between what Polite said in the beginning is what people in the lower class did because they were hungry, but these are the people that are the rich, and this is what they're doing. They're the rulers. This is your Ma'at. I'm going to show you. Go ahead. Albert Zink, scientific director of the Institute for Mummies and the Iceman in Italy, uses genetic fingerprinting and tests mitochondrial DNA, which is inherited only from the mother. On this evidence, he showed that Tutankhamun's mother was Akhenaten's sister, according to a Sunday Times report by Fiona Keenan. Y'all pushes this. Go ahead.
Okay, this thing right here. The court text spells 635. Ray has no power over me, for I am he who takes away his breath. A tomb has no power over me, for I copulate between his buttocks.
Now they're gonna try to translate it some other way, but look at the glyph. It's a penis. They're gonna try to make it a scientific penis, a metaphysical penis, a philosophical
They say that, yo, Israelites, it's not your fault. We didn't have books for y'all to translate. Y'all gonna tell me for 60 years y'all been reading this nasty stuff and only decided to change the translation when we started bombing y'all? But here goes Jonathan, who's about to break down the metal nets, and he says, no, my plans are to learn the language before I take a trip to KEMET. What language is he talking about? I thought he's writing a book for this. The brother he want to learn the metal nets before he go, but he's putting out a book when he don't know the language. That's his writing, that's not my writing. That's not slander, that's his slander. Go, next one. Go ahead, big brother.
Oh, my bad. I was over here having a conversation with Betty brother. Okay. The code text 100, the one that said, we got you on that. Let me just get straight to the damn point. His penis between the buttocks of his son and him. Now what man's gonna put his penis between his sons?
No, but guess what? They're gonna have a translation. They're gonna change it. Because guess what? Everybody that Dr. Big quoted, when he quoted his book in the Middle Letter translation, he was quoting Budge. Shaka Amos quotes Faulkner. All of these people have the similar and same translations about the homosexual occurrences in Egypt, but they're so upset they're about to change history and everything, and they got this magical book that's going to make everyday Egyptologists happy again.
Okay, here's another text. It's on their walls. So it says, if there be made a slaughter against me in the river festival. Now this is a festival where they did their gay things, okay? It says this, against me in a striking of horns, then will a swelling occur in the eye of the jet, then I will swallow for myself the penis of Ray and the head of Osiris. What
Let's go to the next one. We gotta show you something. Let's go. Break this down. Please show us something.
Here we go. They are very obsessed in Egypt with penises. If you notice this, here's the thing is good, right? It says the bull, take the bull's penis together, representing the bull's degenerate system. The object of the figure. Now it goes on. You see here, this is an actual bull's penis wrapped around bull. Okay? Now, let's see if they kept this in KEMET. Now they're going to show you. Now notice the symbol. Go to the next slide. Let's see if they got it. Here we show right here. The bull penis right there. Okay? Left of the Ethelsville temple. And here, right in Denver, you have their God with the bull's penis in his hand. Okay?
No, that's not a bull's penis.
No, yeah, right.
That's a Chicago's bull's penis. It's different, man.
No, brother. You know what I think that is? I think that's Jonathan's computer. I don't know.
Yeah. It's electronic, spiritual. It gotta be a thumb drive. That's what it is. They invented the first thumb drive.
You right, we wrong. You right.
Go ahead.
Leave this motherfucker. Let's go.
Hold on, when we brought this debate was tag team. You know this name was tag team, right? All right. Egypt is so deep, right? They so deep. They deeper than every society. Their science was above everybody. Mummies revealed ancient Egyptian heart disease epidemic. Right? Researchers decided to tackle the problem head on by performing a CT scan on the heart of 52 mummies. Out of 44 mummies, they were surprised a bit just how much arteriosclerosis were found in ancient Egyptians who were young. The average age of death around them in the mummies was 40 years old. This is what you taking us back to? But come on, we got more than this. Ancient Egyptian lifespan. Now that's not accounting of other mummies. Now while there were some Egyptians that lived until their 90s, like King Ramses II, the average life expectancy was mid-30, 33 years old was being the estimate of the average age. Who wants to go back to living to 33 years old? Let's be serious. If their knowledge was so deep, why they couldn't save themselves, man? Use common sense, man. Use common sense. Hotep, most people don't like to live over the age of 40. Let's go to the next one. Ancient mummies show even the rich Egyptians could be poor in health. Now this just wasn't amongst the poor. They're going to show you that the old mummies, they had tooth decay at 20 years old and had no teeth. And they were seeping into their blood system, poisoning them. Let's go. Here's the first human sacrifice you see, but notice you see 4 arcs above the piercing of a man's chest and the bowl catching the blood, right? Here go the next slide. Okay, I got it. Sacrifice of the early king's servant for the afterlife. You can read it, we don't have much time. We have 200 such slides, not enough time to get it, but I want you to look at this. Is it okay to kill your servant because the Pharaoh died so somebody can serve his lazy ass in the afterlife? Is that spirituality? Yeah, if that's spirituality, that's why we're struggling in the conscious damn community, because you don't know what spirituality is. Ain't no serving nobody in no afterlife and being able to stand. Go. Smiting the enemy scenes in the mortuary. Go ahead. Skip it. All right. Ancient Egyptian carving shows the counting of hands. Now, this is my man, the Magi, tried to show you something. He said, in ancient Magi, we took hands and heads. Right. He didn't tell you about the penis that they were taking, did he? That's right. He didn't tell you about he didn't tell you about the hot dogs, the favorites. He didn't tell you about the real Hebrew nationals and where they come from. Now, here you go. Why is the priest bringing it inside the temple and counting hands inside the temple? Let's go to the next one.
You don't know what that's like.
All right. You don't need to go. You don't need to go. Don't disrupt me. Keep going. All right. Here you go. There's a priest in the front counting it in front of Ramses. Then there's a priest that's counting it. He's the scribe. He's the one who's taking it and recording it. And there go the hymns behind him. They're singing the anthems of the penis. If you look at the D right there, right? You see the loop of the hand because he's forming an arc. Talk about it. He's starting to form an arc. I'm going to show you. When you see in the first picture, when they were taken live, you see the arc. Because an arc does mean life, but it don't mean the life you think it means. Let's go. Here go the penises right here. Power penises. If you can look at it, some of them are filleted. I am not lying to you. Here you go. Go ahead, next slide. Next slide. There you go. Next slide. Next slide. All right, this is about the festival they had. They used to celebrate the missing penis of Osiris. This was a good holiday. Hopefully you can get this off at your job. Next slide. Here we go. All right, next slide. Oh, don't worry about it. Let me check this out, right? Look at the article.
Now notice, this article is telling you about Egypt that they had diseases, sexual diseases, right? Now here's how they were. Now it was so pristine. How could you catch a sexually transmitted disease? Let's see what they made in Egypt. Go. An Egyptian literacy condom, 1000 BC. So when you understand this, if this was a pristine culture without any immorality, they wouldn't have to use their condoms. Okay? Real simple. Go.
Next slide.
Now, you see Shaka, right? He's one of the black goddess, right? What's the difference between him and Dan Miller? What's the difference? There's no difference. That's right.
Nefertari was a black woman. Come on, y'all. Nefertari was a black. But he didn't tell you Moses and Nefertari, they were brothers and sisters. He didn't say that part, though, did he? That's in part 2. Next slide. Did the Egyptians kill the lion? Yes, the kings lied in their records. We'll get into that later. Go ahead, continue. Let's keep on going. This is human sacrifices. I brought this out. They're so focused on homosexuality in Egypt, they missed the whole presentation I did last year. Go ahead. Now, let me tell you, this is the Lady of Taperet funeral stela, and it tells you what she has to bring to bring Herakati as a sacrifice to make it into the netherworld. Now, if you look at it, the 2 pillars on the side of the lotus, and they represent, and they hold it up the balance, they hold it up the sky in balance, right? But what do you look at the sacrificial table? You see all the fruits and vegetables. But if you look to the right-hand pillar and the left-hand pillar at the bottom, one of the things that brought Ma'at of balance to the universe was the head, or the sacrificial head of Asiatics. If you look at the bottom, let's continue. This is how you got Ma'at. All right? Here goes Akhenaten and his 2 children. You see the hands of a 10 coming down because they're actually coming to receive an offering, and then when they give the offering, they give it back as an offering. They'll give you an ark in favor of your offering, and it's put to the mouth or the nose, but those are his children. What Akhenaten has in his lap is called a cop knife. A cop knife is a sacrificial knife that doubles as a Ma'at knife. Let's go. All right, here goes the cop. It's also found in the cat that belongs to Moses, the cat sarcophagus. And I want to tell you this. Guess what sarcophagus means? It's only found in Greeks in Egypt. Guess what sarcophagus means?
flesh eater, salt, flesh, profligate, eater. The cat is robbed. The flesh who repeatedly kills the giant python with a knife but chopping off his head. Continue, let's go to the next one. The chopped knife is a magical double blade that shapes the feather of Ma'an. He is sometimes depicted eating captive's head. Now, my head is depicted eating captive's head. He is first seen on Harris papyrus, and he's known as the devourer of captives. These are their gods, but I want to show you this is a kid's book. I'm getting this from a kid's book. Go ahead to the next one. Who is the cat? The cat is the male manifestation of himself, of Ra himself. And he was called Mu'ah because of the speech of the God who said concerning him. Failure to answer the question correctly resulted to the soul being given to Amit, the devourer of the dead and the soul eater. This is the papyrus of Ami, the devourer of the dead and the soul eater. Listen to all their God's names. Come on, let's go. The papyrus of Nebseni reveals that the knife was usually a ritualistic kill children. Now, if you read the papyrus of Nebseni, it tells you about the children of rebellion, and if you scroll up, it tells you about the cotton knife that was used to cut them open. Let's go to the next one. All right, the Tri-State Medical, it tells you where the Egyptian cannibals and recent unearthing there were found piles of ribs, flesh-scraped bones, showing where human teeth gnawed them. This is Professor Peachtree. This is Peachtree. Now read the article. All right, let's check this article. Let's go to the next one. All right, here goes Ramsey's wife, and here goes Offset. What does Offset have on her head? She has a vulture on her head. Now in Egypt they tell you a vulture is a nurturing mother, which a vulture is. But that's the romanticism of Egypt, because what else does a vulture do? Eat that body. Let's stop playing stupid. The other goddess is called Mu. If you look at the Mu and you look at the two double letters MT for Mu, you see a falcon and a penis. What is the falcon eating? What is the vulture eating? This is ignorance if you think about it. So let's go. But that little sash on her is a sacrificial blood, which is called the blood of Isis, which she links to her sacrificial when she holds her arm, because the arm is connected to the sacrifices. Go ahead, watch. Pyramid text. Who eats the entrails of even those who become with their bodies full of magic and honors? The Pharaoh of the Lord offering, the knock of the cord, who himself prepares his meals. Pharaoh, he who eats men and lives off of God. Let's go. I got 2 minutes. I got it. All right, pyramid text. I read this last year, and they said it was symbolic, but I'm going to show you it's not symbolic. Continue. It talks about the Lord eating the throne, extracting the blood from the bodies. It is Shimzu who will cut them off for the Pharaoh and cooks the meal in his dinner pots. Shimzu. Shimzu is the god of the wine press. What do you do with the wine? You crush it and get the blood out the grape. Right? Let's go to Shimzu. Shimzu, the god of execution, stored up blood, oil, and wine. He punishes the unrighteous by placing their heads in the wine press to remove the blood in the lasso of sinners. I didn't make this up, you fools. Let's go. Pyramid text. Lo, thereby, I got you. Lo, thereby was their fire was buried. The ox is the possession of the surplus of the meal as cooked. Y'all don't want to hear this. Watch this. Go ahead, next slide. Wallace E. Budge, right? This is Dr. Ben's daddy, right? The notion that by eating flesh, or particularly drinking the blood of another living being, man absorbs his nature or life into his own hands. But the idea of hunting and roasting and eating the gods as described above is not common amongst the ancient nations. The main object of the dead king is doing this was to secure eternal life, which was particularly attributed to the gods. This is Wallace E. Budge is telling you about cannibalism in ancient Egypt. This is a picture of Menhas and Osiris riding on his back. You see the fire coming out of the head of the captains of the Shemitic people. I want you to look at that sign right there on the side. That's a determinative right there. Go to the determinative on the next page. Determinative. Over the dead people's body is fire, heat, and cook. You gotta learn this stuff yourself. This stuff is telling you stuff. This is ignorance. Is this the foolishness we're following? I got 25 seconds. Let's go to the next slide. All right, John Henry Clark said, I could not and would not hurt a fly. Well, dang, he sure is strangling the hell out of this duck right here. All right, Meneptah, the Egyptian pharaoh. That's a whole different pharaoh now. The other one was Ramses that liked to play with the penises. But it had inscribed on the walls of the temple to carve out the story and amputation of a 13,000 flies of his enemies. Time, let's go.
Be the start. I'm just saying.
Get him, baby.
Now you catch bodies.
Get him.
We gonna make sure.
Get him. That's right, baby. Get these niggas.
So today we leave with a fucking easy body. That damn plastic there. Go ahead, down. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let me show you how to find this information. Okay. I'm asking y'all to not talk while I'm doing what I do. Let me work, but it's not fair. My time is going down and y'all talking while I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yep.
That's what we doing? That's what we doing?
Don't stop the time. Don't stop the time.
That's what we doing?
Light. Come on.
Let me have a few. Let's get started, and that means let's give him an opportunity to present his side. And that means, and that also means I saw the other side doing it to you. Okay. But try not to speak to them. Speak to them. Okay. So
But Sean was all over here.
You present
He was sitting in the seat. Like, some of the security line up.
But give them the opportunity to explain. You laid it out. You did a good job. Brother, can y'all see with this casket in the way?
Put the casket under the thing.
Stop that.
Stand the casket. Alright, we're gonna need y'all to move back on this side. Because the people can't see. Hold on, Professor. I need y'all to move back on this side. Because the people can't see the screen.
Yeah, the Hebrews, back up.
I need y'all to move back. My Morris brother.
You ready?
My Morris, it's on. Turn that off, brother. I got you. Don't worry about it. Got you. I get a clear one for you, man.
All right, brothers, we've heard the case. Let's hear the defendants respond to that case. Here we go.
It's light work, baby. Just watch what happens. So I'm gonna start this round off with this thing that they call an incest in Egypt. And what I'm gonna show you is they be hating that they don't take the time to comprehend what they read.
That's right.
So we want to read things nice and slow. And then, this is not even the rebuttal round. The rebuttal round actually comes after this. I'm just showing y'all something.
That's right.
How we can make this right on the spot. We sit back there, we listen, and we make our slides on the spot. Though they didn't want us to do that.
Wasn't supposed to do that, like.
I'm not saying it again. I wasn't supposed to do that, right? I'm not supposed to listen to an argument when I'm going to trial for, and then I can't even create a response.
Don't make no sense.
You hear this?
That's BS.
So, inheritance per nut pro tum.
They scared.
What does nut pro tum mean? And Lord means now for then. Definition of nut pro tum. Now for them, a phrase applied to acts allowed to be done after the time when they should be done, with a retroactive effect. What does this mean? Well, retroactive means taking effect from a date in the past. And law, you have something called assumption, which is synonymous with assumption. But then there's a thing called presumption. Now, what's the distinction amongst assumption and presumption? Well, with presumption, the assertion comes from an actual human being. And when a human being properly asserts himself, it creates policy. Thus, that policy renders an opportunity for one to make concessions to the decisions that you make. Now, they're going to say he uses these big words to trick you. These are the best words I can use to describe what I'm saying. But for those that may be slower, we're going to say it much slower with smaller words after this slide, so you can get what I'm saying. But there's no reason to dumb down the information for our people, because we are brilliant and intelligent.
That's right! That's right!
So we go to the next slide. So remember, in law is non pro tum. Now for them. When message is, here's an adoption of Nanufe by her husband, Nanufe. This is from the adoption papyrus. And we're looking at Alan H. Gardner. Year 1, third month, of Summer. Day 20, under the majesty of the king up in Lower Egypt, Ramses. The 11th. On this day, proclamation of Amun of the shining forth of this noble God. He arises and shining forth and making offering to Amun. Thereupon Nanufe, my husband, made a writing for me, the musician of Seth Nanufe, and made me a daughter of his. Oh, listen, the husband made the wife a daughter of his, and wrote down for me all he possessed, having no son or daughter apart from myself. All property that I have made with her, I will bequeath to it Nanufe, my wife, and if any, my own brothers or sisters arise to confront her at my death tomorrow, or thereafter, like non-proton now for then, or thereafter and say, let my brother's share be given to me, before many and numerous witnesses, behold, I have made the bequest of Nanufe, my wife, this day before Hoyeru, my sister. Now what does this mean? In KEMET, if you come from a royal family, the inheritance can only go to your bloodline. So in order for a husband to be able to give his wife something, and she's not from his bloodline, what he would do is adopt his wife legally so she can inherit his belongings thereafter. But people that don't understand law, read it and say, oh, the husband was married to his sister. Now y'all niggas gonna act like y'all don't claim children on your income taxes that don't belong to you? Slow down, Speedy. Let's go to the left right here. Let's hear what he got to say.
Oh, God.
Where's the volume at? Pause that real quick. Huh?
Take it back.
Where's the cable? We need the cable.
There it goes on the ground. What's the time? There you go. Plug it in.
All right. I'm not mad at nothing you said in this video, bro. This is scholarship right here.
His timeline is, he talking about 1700 BC, which is Father Abraham, between 1700 and 1600 BCE.
Now, Lex says Abraham existed during Middle Bronze. 1700 BC. That's when Lex says Abraham existed, between 1700 BC or 1600 BC. Watch this video again. Watch the whole thing. Press it again, baby.
You know what the Middle Bronze Age timeline is? He's talking about 1700 BC, which is Father Abraham, between 1700 and 1600 BCE.
Keep going. Now, Nasi will contradict Zion's date for Abraham.
That's what all the Hebrews say.
I got it.
Because my chronological order is Abraham is during the time of Cush. During the time of King. And how I bring it in,
Twisted.
I would say, let's say 2000 BC, 1900 BC.
So,
I'm talking about 1700 BC.
Now, this is what I'm saying.
1700 and 1600 BCE.
You want to bring us to court, and you want to make accusations, right? But how the hell several members of their team got different dates for their accusations? What kind of court is that? Now, they may have disagreements with a number of things, but when you have a team debate about chronology, one of the things they brought us on trial for was chronology. Everybody on your team has to agree to the same date. We can't have 4 or 5 people with 4 or 5 different dates.
That's right.
Condemning us. But listen, it gets better. It gets better. So look, we got 300 years apart between the two of them. And you know why this happens? Because religious people believe in myths. And when you believe in myths, you have to indulge real people to establish your history.
Right. That's
you don't
right.
see KEMET going in the Bible trying to find out if their Moses was Ramses. But they damn sure try to find out if their Moses is our Ramses. We never have to go in their Bible trying to find out when we existed.
That's right.
Never happened.
That's
1,800 Arabian students.
So now Nazi is saying that we have to push Kemet back at least 800 years. Why? Because he wants the myths to line up with real historical accounts.
Yep.
So this is what they do. They never add more years. They always subtract years so they can try to inject themselves in other people's history. So walk with me. So far Lex and Nasi have a 300-year differential between when they believe Abraham existed. And now we also have to make sure we subtract 800 years. But this gets even more interesting, y'all. Let's go to the next one.
And that's how Abraham comes on the scene. Because Abraham is migrating from Semitic people and Hamitic people. Because during that time there was a king called Ur-Nammu, which was one of the greatest kings of ancient Sumerian civilization.
Okay, now he's saying Ur-Nammu. Abraham existed during the time of Ur-Nammu. And you see, he's talking about real people. So with real people, we can get dates. So Ur-Nammu existed during 2047 BC to 2030 BC. Now you got Abraham in Sumerian. If we apply the 800-year theory to this guy Ur-Nammu, that'll place Abraham in 1247 to 1230. Now this will make Abraham how much older now? Abraham, according to this theory, would look like he's almost 500 years old. Oh, because he's in Sumeria and he's in Egypt, but in different time periods. And if we don't apply the 800-year theory to it, the time dates is still conflicting. But that's not it, y'all. Let's go to the next video.
You said Moses never existed, right? So there was a man, right, that was kicked out of Egypt, right? And in the book, right, in the Bible, right? And he dealt with a slave, and he punished a foreman over the slave, right? This man named Moses, right? And he came back, right? And he took people out of Egypt, right? Are you looking for that man? Are you familiar with the salt papers before? His name is Messi. And the salt papers 24 people left and put a foreman to death over the slave.
Now, I dare anybody on their team to use his scholarship where Abraham existed during Khufu's period, right? At 1900 or 2000 BC. And I also dare them to contend that Abraham existed in Sumeria during the time of King Ur-Nammu. And I also dare right now, he just said Moses is Amen Messes. Why is this important? Because according to the Bible, the distance between Moses and Abraham would be no more than 420 to 430 years. Walk with me on this. Anybody that deals with any conventional biblical history will tell you the difference between Abraham and Moses is 420 to 430 years. Now, why is this important? Because if Nasi says that Abraham existed during the time of Khufu, that would put us, let's give him the ladder, 1900 BC. But if Moses is Amen Messes, who is the son of Merenptah, then we had the 19th dynasty. And that creates a situation where Abraham, the distance between Abraham and Moses will have to be 1,397 years. But the Bible says 420 to 430 between Abraham and Moses. Let's go to the next slide. So what I'm telling you is, it sounds good when they say, hey, this person's story is lined up with this story, and this person's story lines up with this story. But when you start plugging in the dates, and you start plugging in the time, guess what happens? You come to find 1,397 year difference. Contradicts the Bible. The Bible says don't add to it, don't take from it. Yet, you now see damn near 1,000 years difference from his chronology. And you see this white boy right here, Dr. Floyd Nolan Jones chronology. He started off, he made Abraham stay in the 1900s. But guess what he did? Oh, you said Kemet on trial, right? Let me explain this to you again.
Let's go.
No, stop.
Get it?
Let me explain this to you. How the hell can you take us to trial for chronology when the chronology you're using is pseudo?
Get him, babe.
This man, don't you know if he makes Moses and Messes, don't you know that he made the Israelites come before Israel? Have you heard of the Merenptah Stela? They say that that's where it says Israel. How the hell could Merenptah's son be Moses, and Merenptah has the stela that they say is Israel? You see, we gotta really think about what he's saying.
That's right. That's right.
is this thing that he said.
Started from the beginning. Okay, listen to this.
See, one thing I'll give Dr. Ben credit for is this thing that he said. Dr. Ben said, and I quote, "I don't respect any Egyptologist who goes into Egypt in thought and attempts to give you an interpretation of Egyptian Kemet's doctrine without having any field work in Kemet." So, contrary to what y'all may think, y'all may look at Polite and be moved by the scholarship and be moved by the language, but he has no field work. I'm going to say it again. So, contrary to what y'all may think, y'all may look at Polite and be moved by the scholarship and be moved by the language, but he has no field work.
Now, I would like to ask Lex, did he ever go to Israel? But you know what? I'm not even going to do that to you. I know you. But you quote Dr. Ben and said Dr. Ben made a point. He don't want you in Egypt mentally. He wants you to do the field work. Go to the next slide. Yeah, Kemet's on trial, but if you say shit, oh, this is Dr. Ben giving me blessings to go somewhere. Watch this one.
Come on, babe.
I'm the best at this.
Oh man, don't say that.
How you gonna put Kemet on trial and you yourself don't go to the scene of the fucking crime?
That's right. Come on, baby.
This was on the 22nd. This video was
That's
posted.
right.
Look at me. Look what I was doing on the 22nd.
Get it, baby. What?
Hey, that's my brother here. That's my brother here. Hold on. That's my wife. Hold on. This is a long trip. He was sleeping.
That's right.
You just shitted on me for not going to Egypt when you never went to Israel.
That's right. What?
You trying to use Dr. Ben against me. Now you feel like a fool. All right, come on. Let's play this. Let me work.
Work, babe.
Let's listen to the next one.
We're going to the list. There's only been a handful of pharaohs that have been discovered. In certain places they have found only a thumb, a foot. The bodies have not been found. There's not so much body with these pharaohs that have been found. I think maybe 5 or 6.
Okay, so the boss says there's only 5 or 6 bodies, or a foot, or a numb, whatever the hell that is. Go to the slide. Go next. And I'll see the 6 bodies who say there only is, and I'll raise you 12 plus. And this is Hot Chef Soot in the room 56 of the last row, in the middle. He said it's only 6 bodies. So I'm
because we've been working together on this one. Hey, check this out, because my man Nazi Chavelle put up something, but he really misinterpreted what I was saying about being proficient enough in the Medu before I take a trip to KEMET and just waste all my money. So look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to show y'all how we've been working together. Because the Niso just went to KEMET and he actually went to the pyramid where all these mistranslated pseudo-claims come from. Here go the text right here. They always tell y'all, okay, this is what they do. They'll tell y'all a white man's interpretation of the Medu Netra. Now let me tell you something. We are out here reinterpreting these texts to bring back some good interpretations.
That's right.
And they fight us for it. So, as far as Heru is said and the homosexuality is concerned, we got it contained out here. You seen the brother went and did the field work, and I'm the one, if y'all ever want to challenge it, I'm the one proficient here in Medu Netra. All we got to do is throw some spells and see who can read them.
That's right.
But let's get in on this one time.
That's right, baby.
Do you see the Nisu standing right where I asked him to go? Can y'all see that? Like this ain't no game. How much money are we spending on our defense? How many lawyers do you show up with? Like, come on, man, let's get this in, though. Let's get it in, though. Let me get it in. Thanks, y'all don't know.
Hey.
Thanks, y'all don't know. That's a facsimile right there.
Facsimile. Direct copy right there.
Take a look. So these guys just go on Google for their defense team. All y'all thinking that we doing this to make money? It costs money to bring back that information.
That's right.
It costs
That's
money.
right.
That's how much we respect you.
Yep.
You don't just cut and paste. You don't press Command C, then press Command V and give it to the people.
That's right.
So if y'all don't get that down, guess what? They ain't got no facsimile for the Bible. They ain't got no original.
That's right.
No direct copy from the original. They ain't got no original. They all stood up and everything.
Schooling them.
I'll get that straight.
Go ahead, dog.
They can't go to Israel and go do this.
No, they can't.
Let's get this straight.
That's right.
Yeah, somebody watching this Lord, I heard a lot said about incest and KEMET. What y'all know about that? See, first thing, as my brother keeps pointing out so eloquently, you cannot really put us on trial for anything you're guilty for. If we find incest in the Bible, then how could you try to walk into KEMET and put somebody on trial for incest and KEMET? Let me ask y'all something.
Right.
First of all, y'all know about Abraham coming. Y'all know about Abraham coming into KEMET, right? To sojourn, because God told him to stay there. The first thing he did when he got there was some sucker stuff. Let me tell you why. Which one of y'all go around some gangsters that say, look, don't say you my wife, say you my sister. Okay, that's some sucker stuff right there, but let's get it in. He pulled that off on Pharaoh, right? But then he had to got kicked up out of there because his wife made everybody sick. So check this out. He went and pulled the same thing on a king named Abimelech. Y'all check y'all Bibles. He did the same exact thing. He got to the town and said, look, when we get there, say you my sister. Why would a protector, a man, do that? And then they say KEMET is gay. Where was Abraham at when Sarah was sleeping with the Pharaoh? Where was Abraham at? Well, look, when he gets to Abimelech, right? He tells Abimelech, hold on. I wasn't lying to you, brother. She is really my half-sister. So we got your patriarch. Your patriarch, Abraham. What is y'all talking about? How could you hold somebody on trial for something that your patriarch is doing? It don't make no sense. You got this one. Yeah, I think Nazi just left the room, didn't he? Yeah. I think I know why. I forgot y'all Archie. Hold on, let's get this right. I can't work that. Because y'all really need to know where they get their information from.
That's right.
Straight up.
That's right.
You ain't letting nobody come in here. Check this out. This is Nazi source right here. And we're going to do a little transformation y'all, in case y'all don't know, he getting ready for Nazi right now. He prepping it up. He about to teach him some Egyptology, some homosexual Egyptology. Yo, y'all seen the Seti debate? This is Paul Roberts' Nazi source, who he was cutting down our brother Cyrus Seti with. Talking about Egypt is homosexual. Check this out. Check this out. Not only that, y'all. Not only is he bringing sodomites into the congregation and pushing that information back on the black conscious community as if it's real. What is he doing? What is he doing? He don't even check the scholar's work. I took a year and a half to write refutations to these people. As a matter of fact, let me tell you something. Paul Roberts, on page 2 of his document, Egyptian Homosexuality, he says the term himuti is on the cellar of Semroset. I'll pull that up right now and ask you to find it. Don't you read that in there, right? Yeah, you don't. I know. It wasn't even on the stellar. The word ain't even on the stellar. You said we're going to dig it in tonight. Do y'all understand what I just said? I went behind Paul Roberts' work. I traced it to the primary source. I looked at the stellar, and the term they said for homosexual is not there. Check this out. They don't know what's going on right now. Okay, thank you. Now y'all do. No. Keep answering. Not even there, okay? Now, y'all gonna check for yourselves. It's called the Stellar of Semroset, and he brought forth work that's in there with the term himuti on there. I got a whole bunch of work for them, y'all, so don't even trip off me right now. We just gonna bury this junk. So we're gonna do a little presentation on incest. To teach y'all truly and KEMET it work like that. But we're gonna get it rolling. We can skip through all that Bible stuff. We can skip through it. Look. The word is natural, but sister or daughter, we still using the same thing. What is that? If you married a black woman, who did you marry? Thank you. Period. It's these terms. I got the sources on it. Hold on. Let me show y'all. Now, John Archer, here we go. Walk through it. Now we can get through the incest in the Bible. But no, let me hit it with this. Because they act like they was holy, but look at the source. Ezekiel, I'm sorry, I'm in the way. Thank you, family. Ezekiel 22, 10, and 11. What's the context? Y'all see the time period? 622 to about 570. So we know what's going on about them times. So check it out. The context is God sending judgment on the sinfulness of Jerusalem. Let's go to the next one. And A.R. Fawcett is the Bible scholar who brought this forward. Y'all can see that? If you just press it one time. There you go. Now what we gonna find out is, check this out. In thee have ye discovered their father's nakedness. In thee have ye humbled her that was set apart from pollution. Oh, hold on, that's not incest. But let's keep reading. And one hath committed abominations with his neighbor's wife, and another, and one hath committed abomination, but he's committed it though. Yeah, he committed it though. One hath committed an abomination with his neighbor's wife, and another has lewdly befouled his daughter-in-law, and another hath humbled his sister. So this is about 570 BC in Israel, right, when they was breaking the commandments. And it's wickedness. But, yeah, it's wicked, yeah. But they was doing it, breaking commandments, correct? Was they doing it? Yeah. So that's what I want y'all to know. Let's proceed. We already talked about Abraham and Sarah, so let's get to the finish one. Oh, y'all know about Lot and his daughters too. I ain't got to explain that to y'all. What was going on in that one? Who comes from the line of Moab and Ammon? Y'all know who comes from the line of Moab and Ammon? Y'all have you first record, bro? Y'all know how we'll deal with that later, but y'all know all about Lot and his incestual relations, so let's keep it moving. Now, I want to show y'all something. This is what we do. So was there incest in the Bible? Was it? But that don't mean y'all taught incest, did it? Did it mean that Hebrews taught incest that there was incest in the Bible? It didn't mean that. So why would y'all try to take somebody on trial for something y'all don't even know about? Let's go to the next one. Let me show them why they don't know about it. I'm just trying to be I got 2 minutes. What about KEMET though? What about KEMET? The majority of the claims of incest come from misinterpretations. Look, y'all think I'm gonna say that and I'll be able to prove it? Let's go. Let's go. Check this out. First, we're gonna hit y'all with the source. Scholars have speculated from the earliest attempts to read the hieroglyphs on the Egyptian kinship system. In fact, recent research has shown that the Egyptian kinship system was not vastly different than the European or American kinship system. Y'all hear that? The basic relationship between mother and father and child was the same in ancient and modern times. But listen to this. The real difference that led to early scholars astray was that the kinship terms, such as brother or sister, were used affectionately between lovers and spouses. See, they misreading the metal letter. And that's a white boy telling you that. But I'm going to show y'all. It said it clearly came from them misreading the metal letter. Let's go to the next one, please. Y'all can see the source right at the bottom. But look, let me show y'all something. Because we're supposed to be dealing with primary accounts tonight. Right? All along. No, we wasn't? So check this out. Tell me what it say right there. Anybody in the house can tell me something up there what that say? Anybody? If ain't nobody on the Hebrew side can tell me, how can they check my knowledge? How can they check my knowledge? What we're going to find out here is a term for the viceroy of KEMET. Viceroy of Kush, the term is Sa-Nisut. Now we're familiar with the Nisut, that's the pharaoh. Sa means son. So the title of the viceroy of Kush was Sa-Nisut, the son of the king. But he was not related to the king at all. Go to the next slide. That's just one of them. We got tons of Sa-Nisut. Here's another one. King, son of Kush, depicted in the tomb of Petman and Amya. Now, that was not the king's son. So if that king's son took the princess of the daughter, somebody who don't know African culture would have simply said this was incest. They don't know what's going on. Now if anybody want to challenge my ability, let's get it in. Where y'all standing at? I heard somebody was bringing the curator. I heard a lot of claims. Y'all got 8 seconds. Black African power. Black power! So we can let them in. Alright, we're gonna start when y'all quiet. We're gonna start.
Come on.
And this is the time that we're going in. We're gonna have to get another $500 donation.
No, we don't.
To go for another hour or 2.
No,
so come on.
No,
quiet it up. This is a debate about information.
Homosexuals educate people. And you know the information, some bomb-ass information. Unfortunately, straight people didn't knock it down like that no homo. I shouldn't even use that terminology. But straight people didn't deliver that information. Or they didn't get to you in that capacity. But the homosexual has dropped some significant information that you can use for your personal development in regards of their sexual preference. Can you be taught by a homosexual? Would you allow yourself to read information outside of their preference? So this is the question.
So now that's the question. He's about to ask people going. Right? So you notice he naming it, he spoke about having homosexual information if it was good. And he said, before you make me sound like a homosexual, then he goes on, he said, you have to take it, you eat the flesh and throw away what?
Eat the fish, spit out the bones. Somebody put it in. You take the information.
So they're going to polite agreeing with the same thing that his partner came and tried to attack us for. So these are some of the tricky things that they're doing now. And we understand this, that we have to ask one question that they answer. One question. Name one thing that they answer for being on trial. Show me one law that says certain things inside of your law that condemns the things that your Nasut are doing. The Nasut lived above the law. I have slides among slides that I want to show you every rule that these individuals were breaking, but we don't have much time. But I want to go back to the slides, and I know how Sean wants to bring information because the time has just changed. The second round no longer exists, and everything is kind of condensed. So
gonna come up here, he wanna show you how the homosexual text has changed, right? But he never refuted him and the penis and the offering of the letters. So even if he changed the actual text, it's still the picture on the wall that shows you something completely different. He cannot alter that. And this is what we're here for. We're here for truth. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's go to smiles. I'm not going to cry. Into the netherworld. So their whole system is based on a sacrificial science. Continue. Go ahead. All right, here goes the relief. Painted relief commissioned by Ramses V and Ramses VI on the walls of tomb K79. Heads and torsos of the enemy's chiefs are being cooked in separate cauldrons. Now, they can tell you that that's not what it means, but you clearly see that that's what it means. There's nothing that they can do to change this around because ancient Egyptian practices was based off of cannibalism. They taught you that Hotep means peace. You wished it meant peace. It means sacrifice. So when you greet one another, you even greet each other in your cannibalistic ways and your viewpoints. Hotep,
that's not what it
y'all put on some savage stuff. And they would never ever find a place where it says metal netta. Metal netta is not a word and it never comes together as a compound word. They made it up from the Hebrew word lashon quadash. And one of the things you have to understand is every translation they got is from a Hebrew. And a Jewish person that translated their text that was down with the fellow society. Let me show you this. Go ahead. Here goes the head, body, strain, and the portion. This is pseudoscience, right? I'm showing you the actual wall relief. Here goes the heads. 4 heads on the wall relief being drained into potion pots. What are they doing with the potion? You remember Shinsu, right? The drain of the blood. Continue. The book of the Caverns, it talks about old great friends to who was given the heads of the enemies of Nut. They sacrificed the heads. Go. The ark represents sacrificial food. Go ahead. All right. Incest. I'm gonna close out on this. On these last 2 sides. Incest survivors exposed Illuminati. On May 1st, 1989, a Jewish girl, age 29, Vicky Poland, appeared on the Oprah show. Said her family was a part of a satanic cult that dated back to 1700. Although they appeared to the outstanding citizens and lawyers, doctors, police officers, etc., they engaged in satanic rituals, human sacrifices, incest, and cannibalism, often in synagogue, and drink the blood and eat babies. Now, where are they getting this information from? Continue. This is the lake of fire. You remember that symbol to eat and cook? There go the 2 baboons in the lake of fire. Continue. Now you see here the same symbols of eating. They're burning and sizzling human bodies on the cave text and the burial of the kings. You see cooking of human beings. Is this what you stand for? Continue. Now, I want to end off with this. This is a book called The Egyptian Masonic Satanic Connection by David L. Carrico, Donna L. Carrico. In this chapter, we will document and list the practices of ancient Egyptian religion as you read from the doctrines and practices of ancient Egyptian and satanic nature readily apparent. These rites were mostly taken from Egyptian book of what? The Dead. Their whole satanic ritualistic cults come from the book of the dead. And let me show you some of the hymns. In this book right here, I ask you to please get the book and then show you all of your elite people. When your babies are coming up missing body parts, it's because they're practicing out of the book of the dead, and this is what you salute. Time. Hold on, the sexual magic. Hold on, the sexual magic. Hold on. Okay, you see the sexual magic? There goes a spell in the book of the dead on how to steal somebody else's life. And this is what we call ma'at. Let's give it up! Give it up! Come on. All right. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna be quiet and calm. Everybody saying well and so forth and so on. Come on, y'all, let's go. Let me just show you one thing. Y'all hooped and hollered because some nigga visited Egypt. Now listen, I'm gonna repeat myself. Why now? Come on. Let's do that. Hold on. If you hear what I got to say, shut your goddamn mouth and hear what I got to say. Y'all hooped and hollered because somebody visited Egypt. Yo, let's go. Let's show you this straight up how it is. Y'all can only visit where you think you come from. But we live where we come from.
Shalom. King Simon. My name is Baresa Ben Nasif Daniel. I live in Dimona, Israel. My father lived in Israel. My mother lived in Israel. My wife lived in Israel. My two daughters, my son lived in Israel. Can you find generations in Israel? 5 generations. Thank you very much. Yeah, give it up for our brothers, man. Give it up for our brothers. Not only that, it's the largest settlement that black people out of America settled in. Nobody was able to accomplish that. But me, period. How about that? How about that? We need the lights down. Where King Simon at, man? King Simon! He just said he needed the lights. All right, here you go. Hold on. Time out. What's up? Call Victor. What's the time? Call Victor. Hold on. Call Victor. Yo, quiet and one down. The lights my man on, but he's about to get this work. All right, let's go. Case file 00001, indictment of brother Polite. Y'all ready for this? Go, next slide. Polite was talking about chronology. Anybody know about John Henry Clark? Take the book right here. Dr. John Henry Clark, An Overview of Black History. If we read it here, he says approximately 6,000 years ago, the ancient Egyptians became conquerors and rulers of upper and lower. Hold on. Yo, family, come on, man. Let this brother get it in. Yo, in the back. Turn his mic up. In the back. We need y'all to quiet down now. His mic up. Hold on. The dynamic period lasted about 6,000 BC until 300 BC. These dynastic periods were divided into 4 main groups: the Old Kingdom, Middle Kingdom, and the Empire Dynasty. Now, they just finished getting on us about chronology. But here's Dr. John Henry Clark saying that, Egypt is much older than what the white Egyptologists is telling you. Next slide, let's go. I didn't get a chance to go in with my second, but if y'all want to know about the Exodus, which they didn't touch yet, I want you to go watch this movie called Patterns of Exodus. I had a video clip for fair use, educational purposes. I was going to play the clip. They didn't give me a chance to cut my time. It's all good. I want you to go watch this movie. Now put that to bed. Next, let's go. Well, polite, right? Try to break down the measure. That's my dude, right? You're going to see what he says about the measure.
Right. And now this is the flop part right here. You're going to love this part right here. With this part right here, this is how you define or identify rock. Circle and the center. Okay? What better way to identify someone as prominent, as a creator, as putting this center here from which all existence would again represent rock. This is very important. This line right here, under here. We're going to talk about this soon. All right. This is where his question arises. Right?
All right, look. I can't play the rest of the clip, but what he's saying here is he's telling you, based on what he heard from the Hebrew side, saying that Amun-Ra is an invisible force of nature. But one thing that Mike didn't show you is something that's very easy in imagination. It's called a determinative. Now, he didn't tell you that the determinative is something that does not have a phonetic sound, but it gives you an indicator in regards to what you're talking about. So if you look here at the God Ray is seated here, right here. That indicates a deified ancestor called Ra. He missed that part. I don't know what happened to that, but let's move on. Determinatives are non-phonetic glyphs, which give extra information about the meaning of words, distinguish homophones, and serve as word dividers. When you go back, we got that video, it's called something about Mundunter. I want you to go back and see that Polite missed to give y'all the determinative. Let's move forward. This is more information on Rob can't go into it. Like I said, when you see that stick in the middle, it means A, B, and C. That's called a logogram because it's telling you to take it literally. And if you take the sun literally, you also have to look at the determinative that tells you what the representation of the sun means, and it's whether it's a deified ancestor called Ra. Let's move forward. I got a lot of time. Look, enslaving of Nubian. Amos with a Nubian? Hold on, we got Al-Shaka Amos over here with a Nubian. Well, let's see what they said. Then Al-Kabay came to justify, and he sailed south to Kush to enlarge the borders of Egypt, doing something wicked, right? It says he actually smoked the Nubian boatmen in the midst of the army. They were carried off in fetters, none missing, the fleeing destroyed as if they had never been. Now let me show you something. You see this right here? This indicates choke. If you look here, I got from Rutgers University a piece of paper that I got from a professor who teaches mesonetia at Rutgers University. And it goes down the grammar points right here. The Nubian campaign, Amos was at the first. Why would you be a Nubian on the side of Amos first? Let's move forward.
very intellectual day. And what I mean by on a very intellectual day, if I were to presume that the person that I'm speaking to can be trusted for me to have a high frequency communication, then I wouldn't use no chaser when I tell you that there are no Egyptian gods. I would tell you that. Okay? And that's part of the mythos. Now, I would express that they are Egyptian gods to the laity. I would express that to the laity. And the reason why I would express that to the laity would be through the convenience. It would be through the convenience of conversation. Right? And then I would work my way up to the point that I would work my way up to the point to get to you right now. Right? So right now, I'm under the presumption that you guys are scholars, or at least purport to be. I do have confidence in your abilities to do research, so I'm going to tell you something that you may not have heard before, and I'm going to let you know that there are no Egyptian gods. And if you question our Egyptian gods, right, I will still respond to your questions based on the context in which that question arises.
Now, I can't go into the rest of the video because I want to save some time, but if you go back to the Ali Muhammad video, Brother Polite saying that there are star beings that was called gods, and they experienced every culture and civilization, including KEMET. So I'm going to show you this real quick. How much time I got? 5 minutes, let me work. All right, look, definition. Oxford Dictionary online. Deify, worship, regard, and treat something or something as a god. Deity, divine status, quality, and nature. Divine, up from, or like God or God. But what's a god? A superhuman being or spirit worshipped as having power over nature or human fortune. A deity. Let's move forward. Zep-Tepi. I can't really get into this, but I want you to research Zep-Tepi, and you'll see that this is the oldest story in regards to the Anu cosmogony. And when you study this, you'll see the ancestors believe that their deified ancestors came from this primordial waters, right? But let me move forward. I can't really get too much of this. This right here tells you about who Ra is, but I have to go forward. And if you want to know about the real science behind ancient Kemet, look at these two books called The Cosmology and Controversy and The Activation Processes and Star Formation, because the waters of Noon is considered what's called a neutron soup. And if you know anything about science in regards to neutron soup, you know that it made it possible for stars to be formed. Let's move forward, man. It's like the Ennead. When you study the Ennead, you know the Ennead has to do with the ancestors that came before the Commission, and it consisted of Ra, Shed, Nu, Tut, Tefnut, and then it went on to Set, Asar, Oset, Nephthys, and Nephthys and Heru, right? Now, I'm going to show you something interesting. Let's move forward. 3 minutes? All right. The Book of the Celestial Cow, when you get a chance, read it, because what happens is you start from history to legend to myth as time goes on and you're not close to the original incident. So when this time happened, there wasn't writing. And by the time they started writing, it turned into a legend and myth though. Let's move forward. Who was Tapa Tahuti? Tahuti was the one entrusted after Ra went under, under Ra went under the primordial waters in the Book of the Celestial Cow. What happens is, Ra was the ruling Nasut. He was getting old, weak. And when he got old and weak, the people rebelled. When the people rebelled, he called the council of the Ennead. He said, what should we do? This is when he created Sekhmet, which is Hathor, and turned her into an eye to go destroy man. Once she destroyed man, he saw that she was too bloodthirsty. He took her what's the mind to turn back to Hathor. Why is this important? Because this is when Ra said, listen, now that man has died, I have to go into the underworld to create a system to get back to me. Follow me, y'all. Let's move forward. Tahuti was the one entrusted by Ra to bring the sciences to the people before he went to the underworld. Let's move forward. You can go look at the Book of Thoth. The high priest or the court of Ra were the ones that was the holders of this information. And if you go where this obelisk is at, they have the underground tombs of these priests. Let's move forward. Ledger. I was trying to give y'all something from Reginald Muata Ashby. Anybody know who that is? Yeah, we do. Red and Haru. And keep reading it right here. It tells you that he don't believe the same thing y'all believe when you talk about Necharu. Let's move forward. I can't go into it. People say, oh, that's mythos. All right, look at the Palermo stone. The Palermo stone don't only start with the dynastic kings. It goes to the pre-dynastic kings. And guess who is in there at the pre-dynastic kings? Red and Haru. But yet they don't exist. But why would they make a historical record of Palermo stone? They say, oh, that's just one. Let's go to the next one. The Turin Kingdoms also goes back to the pre-dynastic period, and it talks about, guess who? Heru, Tahuti, and Red. Let's move forward. The Nephthos Kings list also talks about the pre-dynastic period over 30,000 years before the dynasty of Noah was established. Let's move forward. Go.
question is, how does the suit have the ability to rule over a common man? Who gives him that authority? The sun? The trees? The birds? No, he's the son of Ray. Let's move forward. I'm going to show you. I want you to study Imperial Code. Go home, Google it, and you'll see what this is about. Move forward. What is the son of Ray title? The only way that the suits can rule is through a bloodline. And if Ray was just the son, then what blood did the suits have to rule? You can say, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Let's move forward. I want to ask him a question. You read Magic, right? All right, take a look at this. Again, Rutgers University. You check it out. All right, look. Darn the silence is up there and shows you the pintail duck, which means sun, right? And then you have the sun over here. Son, S-O-N, and then the son. When you syntax them together, you get the word of, which means possession, meaning son of Ray. Now, how come I got all these stellas here, whether the suits are talking about they ruling on behalf of Ray? They're from the body of Ray. But yet, Ray is just nature. Let's move forward. The bond right to rule proven, the third most the fourth dream stellar. Who do you think they thought was the first the power to rule? Marcus told him, if you get rid of the sand of the space, I'll make you king. And guess what? It was king. Let's move forward. Veneration of the day. How much time I got? All right, I ain't got a lot of time. But look. All these books that I have, I got about 10 of them here. Look at these books. I want y'all to look at this. This is my library at home. I don't play games with Egypt. Look at this. Y'all can go, it's on tape. Go back and look at these books and get your evidence. Look, if you want to do work on polite, look at where he gets all of the sources from. And after this, the God of the nature by who? Dr. New York, the God in religion, is there God? And 360 questions to ask the Hebrew Israelites. Check that out.
I need you to hurry up and set that up. Hurry up.
You should have left when you had the chance.
And we're about to get into some high science. The science I said I will reveal. Check it out. Let's go to the next one. All right, we're going to just read it like this. In mental matter, the word for semen is mutut. Now that we have it, y'all want to know what's up with the phalluses? There you go. That's the word for semen right there. But let's go to the next one. Okay, hold on. Because we're going to teach. The root to mutut, or you can say metut. The root to metut is phallus. You probably can turn me down a little bit. Yeah, I'm good. The root to that is phallus. The root word, met, the root to mutut is phallus. Keep it moving. Now we can see that semen and phallus are related linguistically by sound and by meaning. When you say met, you're just talking about the phallus. When you say metut, you're talking about the product of the phallus, or the seed. Now we're going to teach. Come on, let's keep it moving. Now it's time for a lesson in Kemetic wordplay. Because if we don't know this language, then we really don't know the wordplay. Well, let's keep it popping. Check it out, y'all. In Metaletta, the word metsu also means poison. Did y'all know that? That it also means poison. But look, it is spelled the exact same way. And so if you're looking at the language, it's upon the reader to discern what is happening at that moment, whether they're trying to relay seed, semen, or poison. But let's prove it. Let's go. Check it out. The root to metsu, poison, is met. And that means death. You go to the next one. So follow me, y'all. Let's see if we can learn about Kemetic wordplay. Now we have semen and phallus when the terms relate to life. We have poison and die when the terms relate to death. I know that ain't for, I ain't lost nobody yet. That was real simple. Let's keep it moving. Now, there are many. Go back one, please. Well, basically, there are many terms to say spline in Medunesha. I want y'all to focus on this because they've been talking about a lot of stuff for the last year. One of the terms is tesh, another one is ayat, another one is pasegit. Let's keep it moving. Please press the button. But in my book, Magi, Handbook for the Conscious Community, I argue beyond the shadow of a doubt that there is one term that these European Egyptologists have mistranslated. Please go to the next slide. Y'all know what that is? Everybody read Medulla. This is a simple word. What that say? Hey, Devon, what that say, bro?
That's it?
Yeah, that's easy. I know you got that. Oh, okay. You got that.
the mouth right here for pay and the arms is for the hand.
No, you're wrong. That says alright. Let's keep it moving. Let's go. That says alright. So he was wrong right there, so he wasn't qualified to do this. Next slide. Check it out. Hold on. Egyptologists claim that alright means the hindquarters or the anus. Now this is the translation they've been running with. Well, let's keep it popping. Now, this led them to mistranslate certain Kemetic texts. When they found womb-tooth semen and related to anus, what else could they conclude? That is their culture. They seen semen and anus and was like, oh, okay, it must be homosexual. Let's go to the next slide. Let me show y'all this hard science so everybody can take this home. They could not figure out how semen was related to the hindquarters. Now, let me ask before I break this out. Who in here can tell me how semen is related to the hindquarters? Anybody? What's up? Thank you, brother. Let's keep it popping. That brother already got the knowledge, but we're going to show that they have modern medical science back in ancient KEMET. First, we need to learn a little bit about semen production. Yeah. There are over 15 pyramid texts that show that Egyptians thought semen came from the bone. Now we're going to focus on that. Why would they think that? Now here go one. I put the transliteration at the bottom so we can all follow it. Translation at the top, source at the bottom. This says, it is he who creates the seed in the bones of the belly. Yeah. This says, he who creates the seed in the divine bones inside the egg. We can stop and break down any translation if y'all want to. Let's go to the next one. Now here we go. So, that creates the seed in the bone. Okay, this is an Esna, a temple in close to Aswan. Let's keep going. Now, which coagulates the seed in the bone. These are straight out of pyramid texts. It's showing that we thought semen came from the bone. Keep it moving. But why do we think that? That sounds like pseudoscience. There go another one. I ain't even got to do that one. Let's just keep it moving. Y'all can see I brought enough primaries to show you. You might ask why Egyptians thought semen came from the bone. Let's keep it moving. Because it really do. Because it does. We don't know that. It's high science. I'm going to prove it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Modern science has caught up to Kemetic science, and we now know that males have semen emission centers along the lower portion of the spine, in the RX, on the hindquarters. Let's keep it popping. Let's keep it popping. Now, the spine is divided into 4 sections. The cervical, the thoracic, the lumbar, and the sacral. But what we're going to learn is it matches up exactly in ancient Kemet. Check it out. Check this out, y'all. The portion of the spine we will focus on are T10 to L2, S2 to S4. And notice we all in the lower spine. If y'all notice that's your coccyx bone on the bottom 2, which is between the buttocks. See, they ain't knowing nothing about this. All they see is fabulous stuff. That's all they can see. Let's keep it popping. Popping. Erection. Reflex erection of the penis, which occurs after direct stimulation of the penis, is under the control of the parasympathetic nerves from S2 to S4 to S3 to S4 levels of your spinal cord. Let's go to the next one. Nobody knew that, huh? Yeah. Psychogenic erection involving consciousness or mental levels of the brain is also under the control of your sympathetic nerves from T10 to L2 levels of your spinal cord. Parasympathetic nerves from S2 to S4 levels also contribute. You know what I'm saying? Now we're learning what they knew in Kemet way back in the day. But here we go. Emissions, ejaculation. Emissions involve the production and release of semen from your reproductive glands and the contraction of your reproductive ducts, which propel the sperm into the urethra of your penis. This is controlled by sympathetic nerves from T11 to L2. So now they learn, see? I know somebody gut wrenching right now. And check it out. As you can see, the Kemetic teachings that semen come from the spine are also corroborated by modern science. Let's see how loud this comes.
Right now. Very quiet.
Can we get the volume? Well, she was saying everything I'm saying. Put it that way. For some reason, I can't get the audio on feed. Hold on. Yeah, we're going to bring that back.
You don't have to plug up. You got to plug in the wrong hole.
Don't worry about that. She's just saying what I'm saying. Y'all would rather hear it from me anyway, right? Hold on.
Volume all the way up.
Turn your volume up on
Don't trip, don't trip. I don't need it. I'm gonna keep it moving. Hey, who read Arabic in here? Because while we find the pyramid text, high science in the Bible. Tell me what that say, Brother Bashir. Does it say it emerges from the sea, from between the ribs and the bones? Huh? See, the only place you ain't gonna find this is in the Bible. Huh? Yeah, they got my boy Imam Bashir let you know that they had this high science in the Quran. So let's keep it popping. Now let's go, we can just keep it moving. I ain't tripping. Keep it popping. Oh, please, I'm saying so much. Hold on, check this out now. Y'all see that, right? That's called your sacrum, and that's called the coccyx. And where are those bones located? Thank you. So when they see a text and they say something between the buttocks, they're the ones don't have the ability. I mean, they really, I'm sorry, I don't even want to condescend on about it. Let's keep it popping. I'm about to wrap this up quick. In Hindu teachings, this is the Muladhara or the root chakra. The root chakra, I got it, is at the base of the pelvis on the spine. Yeah. Hold on. Where's the root chakra? Where's the first chakra? I know y'all know some Hindu teachings, right? It's right between the buttocks. This is high science. Let's keep it popping. The energy that sits at the base of the spine is called Kundalini in Hindu tradition. Y'all see where it's at, right? Yeah. Kundalini is the Hindu version of the KEMET teachings of the Arat. But how do I know that? Because I read the language and I read it cryptographically. As the more and more knowledge you get of the middle, the more information you're going to get. Let me prove it. Come on. Let me prove it. Matter of fact, I can prove it in more ways than one. What happened to them 2 books I just got over here, man? The brother want to talk about Muta Ashby, who wanted to ask me like he really got his work. He would have brought his work. What's the name of this book right here? It's called Serpent Power. I'm showing y'all the Serpent Power right here. He wrote 105 books on this. Now I'm going to show y'all what he missed in his work. Because when we find our wreck without the determinative of the lion, we find it with the cobra snake on the tension. Way before you find it in any Hindu tradition. Representing the same thing. Let's keep it popping so I can get his mic on. Come on. Yeah, we're going to prove this one beyond the shadow. It says, so when Aret has a cobra determinative, it has been translated to mean the divine serpent. Okay, keep it popping. The Kundalini energy on the R end is at the base of the spine between the buttocks. There's no getting around it. So all you doing is exposing yourself when you see certain high science that can't come up with nothing but homosexuality. Just keep it popping. To prove the R end or the divine serpent is related to the spine, what we're going to do to prove that? We're going to refer back to the pyramid text. Now this is what nobody can't do right here. Come on, let's do it. This is what they can't do. They talk about what they read, they talk about what they do. That's a primary account right there. Nobody else put a primary up there today. That is, what do we see over there? We see our red, okay? Now you see these 27 next room. Oh, I'm going to break that down. Let's get to the next one. Check it out. This is a facsimile of it. Thank you. This is a facsimile of it. But I'm going to just keep it moving so my man, Brother Knock can talk. But basically, this is telling you this. I'll show you the translation. Let's do it.
Another body.
Okay,
body count going up.
Yeah, it's going up. Here goes the translation. On this side is the bull snake who's led by means of the divine serpent, changing 7 of his servants with brother to 7 of his with commands. 27 possession heard these words of the sovereign. Now that's my translation, and there's one thing about this. You can get any European book you want, they'll never translate this as 27 possession because they missed the science. I gotta finish, hold on.
Go ahead!
Alright, keep it going, man. Hold on. The spinal column is 33 vertebrae, 7, 12, 5, 5 combination. 5 vertebrae in the sacrum, 4 vertebrae in the fused coccyx. I gotta. This pyramid text 318 leaves us with 2 numbers, 7 and 27. See, they didn't know they was gonna get taught like this tonight. Check it out. The word used for 7 cervical vertebrae in there is Sefeket Nibu. Okay? From T1 to CO4, we got 26 remaining vertebrae. Possession 3 or 3 possession from pyramid text. What is this? 318 represents 3 groups of the Ened. You know, the Indian is 9 gods. You got 3 groups of.
Alright, let me keep rocking real quick, let me keep rolling. Anyway, y'all know right there, they got that from the museum, right? In Israel, right? That clearly proves that the Israelites was not slaves in Babylon. Y'all can look that up. Go to the Israel Museum real fast, right? Let me keep moving. Let me keep moving. Keep moving right here. That's a 70,000-year-old African settlement, right? Challenging previous theories, right? The settlement is the oldest known early Homo sapiens, right? Sizable prominent structures in Africa. So when they try to act like it's a Sumer, we know it's in Africa first with the oldest structures in 70,000 years. Let's keep moving. Alright? Here you go. Here's that trickology for y'all right here. They try to act like the Sumerians built pyramids, right? But y'all see that polished shit? Excuse my language, right? And they play. Let's go. Watch this. Uh-oh. Starting to uncover something. Y'all see that? Watch this. Dang, that's Saddam Hussein work. They ain't the Sumerians work. They lied. Saddam Hussein built that, but they played it. Here you go, here my man. Look, Kilimanjaro, PhD, right? White modern fabrication, right? Like a ziggurat, right? The 1980 rebuilt by Saddam Hussein. Western construction, engineer, page 168. Matter of fact, they ain't got no books over there, y'all. Y'all ain't got no books. They ain't got no books. Right there. They ain't got no books. Right there. Right up there, man. Hey, now y'all see that right there? That's my DNA. That's me right there, L3. You see that right? 12%. You grew up in Egypt. 12% of that population, right? I belong to that. Here you go. The Hutu of Rwanda. 10.35%. Now watch this. It's going to get stronger. Uh-oh. Here go the Jewish thing, the Hebrew thing. In there. I can't do it, y'all. They ain't my people. Bam. Watch this. Here we go. Oh, wow. We got North African, Egyptian, Tunisians. Look, 53.43%. The Benjai, that's the Magi. Benjai, Sudan. 52%. That's me. Ask them to take a DNA test. They ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna do it. They scared us up. Traveling among the first, traveling. Holy Land DNA. Oh my goodness, right? We're the sons and daughters of peace, right? We will not leave. We will wait. 1990 Israelites used a path to permanent residency and citizenship. In return, the African Hebrews agreed to stop the flow of members. Y'all ain't going back over there. New York Times. Look at that. December 31st, 2014. The community soon became more entwined with Israelite society. Many of his children grew up in Israelite and served the community military. Like the African Hebrews, right? Gave open, small chain of forget that. We could have stayed here before now. Alright, here you go. Now watch this. That's why they don't do with DNA. 1 minute. This is the chemist right here, right? But they said they could have fought for DNA testing or attempted to trace their genetic lines, right? Watch concrete proof for their sacred Jewish story. But they refused, they said, because they believe Judaism exists in the brain, not the body. It's really not important about the genes and the DNA, right? And the physical biology said, what's important is that we allow ourselves to be responsible in answering the call that we receive. Sound like a call to me, and I ain't trying to be funny. Alright? That's a bunch of crap right there. Okay, so let's just keep going right now.
20 seconds.
Hey, this is the only term they got with DNA. From the Hebrews, here you go, first century research presented, right? The focus on genetic analysis, biological remains, right? And the two used mitochondrial DNA. They look kind of sick to me. Oh, let me go back. Time. Looking kind of sick to me. You got leprosy, dating to the 4th century. Time. You got real hard leprosy. That ain't time because he still got 20 minutes. You got 15 minutes. Give us 2 more minutes.
Come on, give him 2 more minutes. Let him get 2 more minutes. I know what I'm talking about. All right, time. That's it. Time. What do you got? Yeah, they got their time. Come on, brothers. You got 5 minutes. Peace and blessings, man. Hey, yo, Black, that's time. Because if we give them 5 more minutes, we don't have to give them more. Listen.
They already lost.
just want to thank my brothers for participating in this event, the Hebrew Israelites. And I definitely want to thank my brothers who traveled far. And so, Brother Reggie, for the research. We got to give these brothers a great deal of props. I thank again the brothers, the Hebrew Israelites, for participating and contributing. And I thank my brothers over here for contributing. I hope y'all enjoyed the event.
Hold on, what he say? That's that slick old man stuff. He said, hey, Professor Smalls, come here, Professor Smalls. I'm sorry, y'all was talking? Tell him what you told us about the debate.
Which thing? Now, I'm saying so much. Everybody has asked me.
We had them on the ropes, but they came back.
It was a fantastic debate. I want everybody to understand that I learned a lot of stuff tonight. But the Hebrew Israelite community put the KEMET community on the ropes. They were almost down for the count. And then you came back.
Who brought them back, though?
You and the brother before.
Okay. I'm raw squad up. Let's get that straight. That's been Smash Rockwell.
Because what it showed is the proficiency and the depth of research all of y'all did. And see, my generation, we didn't have what the tools y'all have got to do what y'all have done. If we had what y'all have done, y'all would be riding rocket ships and shit right now in this generation. But it was fantastic. I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed watching brothers loving each other, going hard on each other, and they can walk away loving each other.
Hey, but tell him he ain't doing nothing, though. Tell him.
Come on, man. We out. Yo, brother Gabal, come here, man. So talk to me, man. What do you think about the debate? You think you gave Shaka that work or what? Talk to us.
I came there to do what I said I'm going to do and to destroy that book. I think Shaka should really analyze and really seriously look at the work that the people that came before him and the quality they brought him versus that book. And like I said, his love for KEMET and the hate for the Bible really is really taking him to a place that he doesn't have to be. The Bible is perfect as it is. Leave it alone, and you don't mess with it. You know what I'm saying? And I think tonight the Hebrew community, Brother Nasi, Brother Hashar, they really brought it in to show that the Egyptian culture was just basically, in a nutshell, a bunch of freaks, and they were bloodthirsty. Cannibal, they were into that. That's what they were into. They were into different type of understanding. They had no moral compass, and we proved that tonight. And we're gonna keep proving that. It's like after a while, it's gonna become a joke to the point like, what else we're gonna do? So at this point, I'm talking about building. We're actually at the after party, the Israelite, unity after party, victory party. All the brothers are here, all the different camps. I'm having a good time. I think we did what we came to do, and then I'm thinking about the future right now. So, thank you for Brother Sanetta doing his thing. I'm happy. From Yeshua Allah.
All right, peace, my brother. Thank you, brother.